Hello everyone and welcome to Swim or Sink number 145. I'm here with Slat and my name is Lily Gravy Bread. And how are you going,
Hello.
Slat?
How am I doing? I'm doing wonderful. How are you?
I'm pretty good and I'm very excited to be here with you and with everyone watching as well to take you a little bit of a tour here on one part of Inkling Performance Labs facility. This one in particular that we'll be taking you through is a bit of a sorting room, actually. This is just imagine like we're in some kind of laboratory here where we are slowly sorting through all of these teams that have signed up, placing them into different groups and seeing who can battle it out to become the strongest and then sort them into the bracket stage later on. But at the moment, we've got quite a number of groups signed up. We've got 60 teams here. Groups A all the way down until Group O. Goodness me, that's certainly a lot of teams. And the first two teams, actually, I've got to say, I'm a sucker for like sweets. And I've got a real sweet tooth, and I love these team names. I love food names in Splatoon in general. Fruitcake versus strawberry soda. Now, this is going to be, I believe, a best of three.
It's a best of three, yeah.
This will be a best of three. So, is there anything that you're looking forward to here, Slat?
Well, let's take a look at the maps we got for this first groups here. I won't lie, I'm a sucker for Mako Mart. I love Mako Mart, especially just Splat Zones, because it's Splat Zones. Who doesn't love Splat Zones? So I'm excited to see Splat Zones on Mako Mart.
Oh yeah, me too.
I haven't seen Tower Control Manta Maria in a while. It's usually just Rainmaker Manta Maria, so I'm excited to see what happens there. And if both teams win one, we will get to see Rainmaker on Humpback.
Ooh, yeah, I'm a big fan of Humpback Wingmaker. I know it can get a little bit choke pointy around the elbow, but you see some pretty creative plays there as well. Tower Control Manta Maria, though, I know you mentioned Rainmaker Manta Maria, and we won't be seeing that one today, but that one can definitely run away very quickly up to that first checkpoint. Tower Control, of course, you've got a pretty set rate of objective play in terms of just making sure the tower's going in that predictable line. You really want to be taking control around that street, making sure you've cleared out anyone annoying from those bunkers as well. Don't want anyone up there while the tower's moving through. I find personally here it can be very back and forth, which I think, that's actually a really good thing, especially on a map like Manta Maria where it can be very precarious getting out of that spawn area. But we're going into the game right now. Let's take a look at these loadouts.
Got a machine, got a wiper. S-Blast, I haven't seen S-Blast in comp in a while. These are quite some interesting comps here, Lily. I like seeing the Head-It, I'll say, and the S-Blast is fun. Well, let's see how it works out. Didn't it just get buffed in the recent patch?
Yeah, I believe so. Already the Zekafin scope has been taken out of the game. Ordinary's already getting their sodas out. Fruitcake getting their sodas out first. That's not something I was expecting, but there's strawberry sodas already out as they start pushing towards that first checkpoint. Unfortunately, they've lost a couple of plays there. That S-Blast has gone down there on the respawn, but they are coming back, of course, with the effect of those tacticals, with those specials out and ready to make a counter push. Fruitcake is making the counter push already. Let's see how far they can make it, because they haven't even broken that first checkpoint on the side of Strawberry Soda.
Yeah, no, it looks like right now it's just the fight for mid, to try to keep mid as much as possible, get as much as your paint in mid as possible so you can break through that first checkpoint, maybe even the second.
Yeah, that's right, and this is what this is what I like to think about in terms of. We're seeing a little bit of sneaky move here from the S+, but this is what I tend to think about is the reason why you see a lot of back and forth. Not too many points happening here on Manta Maria Tower Control in the early game, because it does take quite a while to kind of move back into mid with all of that up and down terrain here. But if you can get a nice Wipeout or 3 players down on one side, you can really start to make some headway here. Neither of these teams have really made some headway, but with the Wiper and the S-Blast, those are two fantastic weapons at like really camping those ledges and pressuring players out of those key points where you really want to be moving that tower through. With those players down, does look like we are seeing a push from Fruitcake down to 72. Those players down, once again, the Wiper's still not back in the game. Hopefully they can continue this push further, but I don't think anyone's just around the tower in order to do that just yet.
Yeah, it looks like Fruitcake's trying to get like take as much space as possible before hopping back on the tower, which I think is kind of a good idea, especially since like that next checkpoint, there's like a lot of areas around it that you could just like camp. I don't want to say camp necessarily, but like protect or like attack the tower. You've got the area up on left. You've got snipe, bunker. Thank you. Gosh, I haven't played on Manta in a while. But yeah, that second checkpoint says it's right there. They're pushing it. You can see like there's like 3 areas where Strawberry Soda could set up to stop a push. So they're trying to take as much space as possible.
Zuka that took them out, or maybe Duck had like a rogue splash of ink that managed to splat them or something. I didn't quite see who managed to get the pick there. But we're seeing this fight for mid. My goodness, it's been like 3 minutes of gameplay so far, and everyone is still trying to battle it out here in mid. Stationary, making sure that they have like enough cover just to make sure that they can have their area of effect under control there. But that Booyah Bomb is going to be pushing them away. A nice snipe there on the wipe on the Ultra Stamp, which is going to allow an opening here for them to at least set up on bunker, get their tactical around, which is duly eaten by the tower right there. Those strikes coming out. That Booyah Bomb actually probably going to be pushing them out of the tower momentarily. But Ordinary is going for a pretty daring play here, trying to make sure that they can at least keep control up ahead in that straight for as long as possible. Unfortunately, they did lose out 3 players there at once, even with that Booyah coming back. Don't think it's really going to be doing too much to extend that push to that next checkpoint slap.
Yeah, absolutely. This is going to give Strawberry Soda a chance to take mostly control of mid and hopefully break this checkpoint. But as you see, a suction bomb gets thrown on there. They really do not want Strawberry Soda to take this checkpoint because they have a really decent lead already, but they haven't quite made it to the second checkpoint. It looks like Strawberry Soda did just break this checkpoint.
Oh,
if I'm Fruitcake
wow.
here, I would try my best to get them off the tower as soon as possible, Lily.
Oh yeah, definitely. Soon as possible. Can't be soon enough because there are only 45 seconds left in the game. With 3 players down on Strawberry Soda doesn't mean that Fruitcake has a good opportunity here to extend their lead. It just depends on how quickly Strawberry Soda can actually get back into the game. That tactical is certainly going to be helping them. We can see here Bran getting a really nice position to just lob that damage over that wall here, just in case anyone might be trying to take control of that street. Because you really want to be able to control that street if you want to get those big points at this point of the game slap.
Absolutely. We only have 15 seconds left in the game. Strawberry Soda is going to have to make a really hard push, get a bunch of picks, and try to make it to that next checkpoint. All they really have to do is make it to the next checkpoint, thankfully. By the 5 seconds, I don't know if they're going to make it quite right, Lily. What do you think?
Well, so going to time now.
Excuse me.
Near wipeout on the side of that team just there. I'm gonna have to look at the official stream now to see what happened, because there is that little few second lag here. And with that near wipeout that happened they actually managed to lose the lead in overtime. Already that push was being made, which meant that they were getting that advantage there. But you know, they managed, as Manta Maria goes, if things get away from you, it can be very difficult to get back in and actually defend that tower, which is what we saw at the end when, like, when Fruitcake kind of dropped like flies by the end. Unfortunately, a little bit like fruit flies here. Strawberry Soda with their tactical, with their sodas managed to push up ahead just in the nick of time.
Clever. That was a clever pun. That was good. I liked that one. Up next, we've got Splat Zones on Mako Mart. Well, do you how do you feel about Mako Mart as a map?
As a map, well, you know, you and I, we both pretty much have the same weapon pool, but
Yeah, absolutely.
we're both short range shooter players here. But what I always love and appreciate is when I have like some kind of bucket or some kind of blaster here playing with me, just to make sure that they can get me up into those stacks.
Oh yeah.
That's always just gonna feel great when you can have that interplay with those AoE weapons. Even rollers here can actually be pretty good, especially on splat zones when you have a bubble, and with the extra buff that they made to bubble, you know. I think I'd like to see more bubble on splat zones in particular, especially when you've got weapons that can camp under ledges like roller, and even the blaster. V blaster has bubble as well, which can be very useful. So those AoE weapons, we might see the S blast come back. We may see the S blast come back. I wouldn't be surprised if they. I wouldn't be surprised if any of these players switches over to a bucket. I believe actually on the bracket we can even see weapon pools, if I'm not mistaken. Like if you just click on, that's the great thing about Sendo. That's the great thing about Sendo. We can see what weapons people like to play. On the side of Strawberry Soda, we have wipers. We do have Cats actually does play a variety of blasters here, including the Pro Deco, the S Blast, and both Vanilla and Blaster Deco as well. So we might see something come out. Seeing Bran also, just looking at that splash tag, is a bucket player, so I'm kind of expecting a bucket, which we're seeing right now. And of course,
Fruitcake. Yeah, speaking of bucket, on the side of Fruitcake, we do have a Slosher and an E-Leader out, as well as the S Blast is still out, and we've got a pencil. Ooh, an arrow! I didn't even see the arrow spray. What the heck? Whoa!
Okay, the aerospray is going to be a choice here, I think. But, you know, considering how you can kind of cheese the zone with reef sliders, already a reef slider in the first few seconds, just trying to clear out that stack here. Duck is just ducking for cover now because, you know, that's going to be putting you in a vulnerable position at least. But they are staying alive, trying to get some damage out, trying to make sure that that stack is clear for their team. And they haven't managed to cap the zone just yet. 2 players going down, I believe a third one and a fourth. That is a soft wipe on them. That's going to be Fruitcake taking control here. Bran and who's the other one moving up ahead, taking that stack here. Does look like they're pretty much in control. It's going to take a bit of work to be able to take this back.
Absolutely. It looks like Fruitcake also has a few of their specials ready to defend the zone if necessary. But right now, they're just trying to stall it out, get as many points down as possible. The stationary goes down to the Trizuka there, but only the end zap is left for Fruitcake. Whoa, and a wipe from Strawberry Soda here, Lily. What the heck? The games are getting away from me.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, these games are kind of both even on some sense, but these teams are kind of wiping each other out in this match in particular. We're seeing a Booyah Bomb for survivability to help them move up once again, move up just slightly ahead here, but they are still being kind of pushed back. Duck was trying to like look for someone around the side there. They managed to jump out, thankfully, because they were a little bit isolated. I want to see Strawberry Soda as they continue their push into the 50s, into the 40s, see if they can like move up ahead. They've been playing pretty steady here, but all those specials coming out from the side of Fruitcake, even though they lost 3 players here, that was definitely an attempt for them to try and retake this, but I don't think they were just alive enough to be able to take that as Strawberry Soda manages to take the lead on them.
Absolutely, Lily. It looks like Strawberry Soda's going for the instead of locking out the enemy team, let's stay on zone and keep it painted as much as we can, because Fruitcake's gonna try to keep painting the zone, but that's just more paint for them to get special. And with two dot, and that game goes to Strawberry Soda 2-0. Congratulations.
Yeah, 2-0 indeed. And continue your thought actually, because I was thinking that a little bit too, especially with how they decided to bring out the aerospray. Possibly to like cheese the zone. We saw them trying to clear out the stack as well. But I think having that aerospray there, you really want to make sure you have your team around them so they're not too isolated, especially if they're going to be playing around the zone a lot, at least to be able to keep it painted enough for their team.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But yeah, most people, when it comes to splat zones, I guess it really does depend on the map, but it's really either just lock out the enemy team in their base, or try to keep the zone as much as possible. Mako, I think, is a good map for just keeping it on, like, let's stay on the zone, keep it safe. Let's take their stack and, like, keep pressure on them. But I think the aerospray, the point of the aerospray was, yes, to make sure that zone stayed in their color, and it worked out in their favor. So
yeah, it absolutely did. And you know, it's such a difficult weapon to fight with. It's basically a losing matchup against pretty much anything. Maybe not Clash Blaster. I don't know. I haven't tested that one out. But when it comes down to it, it's such an efficient painter that people say, oh, it's the turf war weapon. It's not something you really fight with. But I do appreciate very much Silver Aerospray in terms of what it can do in very specific circumstances like this. And you really have to be able to survive with it, if anything, because you know that you can't fight with it unless you get kind of lucky with your RNG shot spread.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, in between games here, we're going to be right back. But while we're gone, take a look at this.
I heard you've been trying to play without losing rank points. Well, I got the perfect thing for you. Introducing Splat Chord Squabbles. It's a new 2v2 zones event with 4 sessions for you to play in. You can join 1 or more because there is no need for 4. Just ask a friend to register and you're good to go, buddy. Now, if you're a real one like me, those first few matches are going to be a breeze, but they're going to be harder and harder throughout each event as it only takes 1 loss for you to get knocked out. Only the top shooters and splatters will make it through to the qualifier, and for that, we got the rewards for you. A Sendu.Inc badge and an invite to the final bracket, where you'll compete for the grand prize against other top splatters for $50 in the grand final. Big money, big bands. How much is that? Not a band, but you know what I'm saying? You're getting up to a 20th of a band. Yeah. If you're just playing for fun or trying to get in on the action without playing, we'll be streaming it all live on Twitch with commentary throughout the finals. If you're rocking with that, don't forget to drop by at discord.gg/Splatoon to get started. And we'll see you in the squabble starting April 28th. Oh my God. That shit sounds funny as fuck.
And welcome back to Swim or Sink. I'm Lily Gravybread and I'm here with Slat. And here at Inkling Performance Labs, we're going to be moving over to a little different experiment here. Now, this one's a little bit more explosive, so you may want to keep your distance and put on some protective goggles, as we'll be looking at these two teams. Blows up Pancakioka with Mind versus Hydra. Now, Slat, don't get too close to this one, I'd say.
I forgot my protective glasses at home.
Oh no.
I'm gonna stay behind the safety glass for this one.
Yeah,
this is gonna, I think it's pretty fun. Well, I think we found out why they're called Blows Up Pancakioka with Mind. We see the teams here. And we've also got Hydra. Up first, we've got Museum Rainmaker. Now, the thing with Museum Rainmaker, it feels like once you get that first checkpoint, it's kind of an uphill battle from there. I guess pun intended. Because you have to go through the rest of base past Spinner and then up the little hill, which is actually pretty decently easy to protect, in my opinion. So the fight really is just getting that first checkpoint, because you have the chance to either jump off of the Spinner onto the checkpoint, or you have to go around up the ramp.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's one of those uphill battles that I absolutely love, particularly in Rainmaker, because you want to give the attacking team a tough time here. The other great thing is that when you're on the defense, of course, not only do you have bats that you can defend from, not only do you have to like kind of work your way around that Spinner, which of course, if you're on the attacking team and manage to take control, get your backline up there, get something really strong, powerful that can really hold an area, then you can make it a little bit easier for yourself. But once that push comes to an end, and you're never really likely to see a knockout here, the amount of options you have to drop back into mid to try and put that Rainmaker into just that difficult position for the previously attacking team to take it back where it was is just going to be making it that much more difficult for them, I think. Did I say difficult too many times in one sentence? I kind of did, maybe, but, you know, I think that just speaks to how difficult it is to get a KO here on Museum Rainmaker.
Absolutely, absolutely. And then after Museum on Rainmaker, that's what I meant to say. Rainmaker on Museum, we have Clamblitz on Inkblot. I actually like Clamblitz on Inkblot. I don't know why. I feel, it looks like we're going into our first game now here, actually. Let's take a look at these comps here, Lily. We've got a Splatana Stamp. We've got a Splatana Stamper Nouveau on the side of Blows Up Pancakioka with Mind. Crab Tank. We've got two Splatter Shots on the side of Hydra.
Oh yeah, that means that's going to be two Zookas plus a pencil plus 52. Of course, 52 is going to be a great weapon with the wall to be able to hold those key areas around the Spinner. Already we saw a pretty early pop. This isn't a map that you really necessarily got to prioritize the pop too much on. You really want to make sure you have that path already painted and players out of the picture already, which we're seeing a couple of picks being taken already by that blaster in order to be able to hopefully set up the initial push here. It does look like that Crab Tank is already going to be trying to as I was talking, it looks like everything kind of went the other way here. No one managed to actually get that push happen, but with that wipeout, they're just going to be jumping across like, well,
they tried,
maybe not jumping across,
but it still worked out for them. They still broke the checkpoint here, Lily. Right now, it looks like they're just going to try to push it a little bit. No, they're just popping it and backing up. That is true, because they did go 2 down here. Playing a little bit passively, letting their team jump back in, trying to get picks. The heavy edit got a trade there. But yeah, if I was Blows Up Pancakioka with mine, I'd just try to keep control of mid and just do it again. Rerun it.
It looks like that's what they're doing with that Crab Tank. Hopefully they'd be able to do it again, but that Crab Tank is going to be contested here, going down in a trade, however, which is definitely not what they want to have happen, losing 2 players there just as they were getting ready to set something up. Perhaps that Crab Tank was a little bit early, but does look like that's going to be giving space for Hydra to start coming in and make a push of their own.
So it looks like Hydra's going to try to go for the spinner jump here. Do they make it? They do, and that looks like they're about to break the checkpoint, and they both checkpoints have now been broken. And Blows Up Pancakioka with Mind is 3 down. which is going to give them a chance to make a bit more of a push. As you see here, that one of the splash shots going to do it. Oh my goodness, the Rainmaker gets 2 down while making a push. That's insane.
Yeah, and also I love to see this position from the 52 gal, just be able to hold the area right in front of the spinner with the help of that wall as well, and that whale just to be able to make sure that the defenses from blows up pancakioka with mind aren't able to come too much into effect, but it does look like they are going to be dropping that Rainmaker down and actually looking to get that push going in the other direction already. They've only lost one player on the other side and another shot going down on Hydra. Perhaps with the help of that crab tank, they can start moving forward. I know that the 52 gal is somewhere around the other side trying to come in, trying to make some kind of flank, but I do believe that that is going to be Hydra kind of jumping out, pretty much eating that space to blows up Pancakioka with mind, trying to get into position just to kind of brute force them out of the way, pretty much.
You know, something I hear a lot about but never really see in practice is using Toxic Mist on Rainmaker to, like, you know how, like, there's some maps you have to, like, make a jump in order to, like, get over somewhere? Putting a Toxic Mist in that key area makes it to where they cannot jump up there.
Oh yeah, no, that is definitely good tactic. And the Toxic Mist, there are always going to be really good spots for it on a map like Museum, because that that ramp in particular is always going to be a key area, especially if you're pushing from around the side, especially if the Rainmaker has had to have dropped down into mid and you don't have the option to jump across the spinner anymore. It does look like that's where that Toxic Mist was going, but being all tactical it up, having lost a couple of players, unfortunately they're not going to be able to push that Rainmaker up any further than that. But they do have a lead down to 37 already, and actually have lost 3 players here. It's just a 52 gal in mid, trying to allow safe route back in, but that aggressive crab tank being forced off the spinner there by that Zuka is going to at least try to provide an opening for Identity to move up once again. They don't have to worry about any Toxic Mist, but they are going to have to worry about those frontline shooters.
Whoa, excellent.
Until they wipe them out, however, it does look like this is going to be an opportunity for them to even get lead here if they can make it through.
Oh no! They almost took lead there, Lily, but they got taken out at the quite literally the last second. And with 35 seconds left on the board, Hydra dropped the Rainmaker off to give them just a little bit more of a chance to not lose the lead here.
It's just a 1v1 between the gal and the range blaster at the moment, but that range blaster is in a great position to provide jumps back in safely and also to poke above those ledges. Getting a pick on Luna here, that Rainmaker is in a very safe position for themselves. All they need to do is protect it in these last 10 seconds. They are going to be picking it up, however, on the side of blows up Pancake with mind. They're desperate to get that final point they need in overtime to be able to take this game, and that Zuka just waiting out these shots just so they can finally get that last point. They are dodging pretty much everything here. I believe there was that gal that they managed to take out as well, but you can see all this paint just being thrown at them everywhere. They need the opening. They need to dodge that pencil. That pencil is the one thing stopping them from moving forward. This crab tank coming out, they managed to take the lead at last in overtime, giving them the first win of this set.
Really good play from blows up Pancakioka with mind. Really back and forth game from both Hydra and Pancakioka here. I'm excited to see the next couple games, or I guess the next game, you never know. Because these two teams look like they're both very good.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I love even matchups like this. 1 point differences in scores are always super exciting, especially if they happen in overtime as well.
Oh, absolutely.
Clam Blitz, Inkblot. I know you were about to say something about Inkblot clams before we went into that first game. Do you have anything that you're looking forward to here?
Looking forward to? I wouldn't say looking forward to. I just I like Inkblot, clams, and tower. So being able to see Inkblot, I'm just an Inkblot stan. I'll be honest. Just seeing the words Inkblot Art Academy on my screen makes me very happy.
Yeah, me too. Especially clams. I know that for a long time, crack and cheese was basically the thing that everyone was kind of doing. I know I went a bit here, and I'm very glad that at least it's been nerfed a little bit. I wouldn't be too surprised if we still if we still find ways around it to really you know, still kind of cheese those jumps in. But there are lots of ways that you can take space, take very useful space to actually get those jumps in with clams anyway. It's just a little bit more difficult now. Bats is always going to be pretty much the most useful place to take control if you're on the attacking side. You really want to make sure that if you have players up there that are at least distracting the defending team from being able to defend the basket, because, you know, oh man, we've got these players on the other team taking up our bats now. We've got to get them out of here, because otherwise they're just going to be providing jumps in. They're going to be making it that much more difficult for us to defend the basket. They're going to provide an opening for the team to score, as the attention is split on the defending side between like the players on bats and the players trying to push. That's the kind of thing I love to see here anyway. And it's also pretty wide, you know, it's wide, and you can actually make quite a lot of usage of that width of this stage in terms of collecting clams and taking up the space as well. Anyway, we're seeing Nessa on the Sea Jet, which is not something I see every day, and I appreciate it. I appreciate it a lot.
It's nice to, I was gonna say, it's nice to see a little bit of a difference. I like the fact that with Cooler, excuse me, I need to grab an energy drink. I like the fact that with Cooler, you see a lot of different variety of comps. Yeah, speaking of energy drinks, the Tactic Cooler gets pumped out here. I like seeing the different comps that are possible, and already Hydra already puts a ball in. Oh, no. Take over.
Ball in the basket. Oh, ball in the basket. 3 players did go down there. And we're seeing already the NZAP has actually managed to move over to bats, jumping over close to their spawn area, but the Stamper is going to be taking them out already. That's a push all the way down to 47, and they're already trying to retake mid here, trying to get back control of the middle of the map. And actually getting the a Zipcaster out here does look like at least is going to be followed up by some of these other specials on the side of blows up pancakioka with mine, but unfortunately that wipeout is going to be putting an end to that. They weren't able to very successfully take up mid just yet, as Hydra is already just blowing up their side. They're blowing up, blows up pancakioka at the moment with the Zuka as well, just following up on that basket open. They didn't get too many more clams in, but these are still some very consistent pushes happening from Hydra here.
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Hydra really is just like having a take no prisoners mentality right now. Just get in, get picks, get out, make a clam, put it in the basket. They're already over halfway through the point total for clams. So I'm quite excited to see what pancakioka does here. They're able to get 1 pick with the crab here. Maybe they'll have enough time to make a ball and hopefully push in.
Yeah, they are going to be taken out, I think, by the Zuka, are they? No, they weren't taken out by the Zuka, but the Zuka is going to be slowing them down just a little bit for now. I do want to say I really appreciate the crab tank coming out, because you do have those stacks that you can pressure from, and of course, if you can get up there, especially with a weapon like V Julie's, crab tank on bats, that is an absolute menace. I want to see that happen. I want to see them be able to do that. It does look like with the amount of clams that they have on their side, they might be able to start getting a push going if they can just keep their players alive, but Hydra has a ball ready to go, and their Inkstorm is already out. If they manage to stay alive with that, we could have seen yet another push coming from their side as well, but they might just have to play safely for now, as they are losing players and they don't have a lot of spaces to move forward, considering where Identity and Nourisho Jr. are kind of set up here with that Blaster just camping under those ledges. Nice pick on the Blaster, however. That's going to be allowing Hydra perhaps just defend a bit more, but already the crab tank, you know, crab tank around those key areas, that stack allowing that movement forward, trying to get a pick there on the shot, managing to pull that off, but unfortunately they are going to be losing the Stamper in the process. It's still a little bit back and forth, but with these 2 players down, this might be it. This might be it, chat. We might be seeing the push happen.
Does look like a push is happening here. Both teams have a ball. The past like 2 minutes have just been like a stall match at pancakioka's base. At their near their basket. I guess their plat, excuse me. But it looks like the ball that they made did end up breaking, unfortunately. And we're seeing a whole lot of orange in mid, but a whole lot of no one in mid. I'm wondering where everybody. Oh, there's the NZAP. NZAP coming in here. Okay, so Hydra does have a ball here. They have 2. Let's see if they can make a push with this, Lily.
Yeah, they have a minute left, and they're in a very comfortable position just to pretty much do whatever they want at this point. They know that if Blows Up Pancakioka wants to get a lead on them, they're going to have to put in a huge amount of work, but those two power clams going in, all they need is just like another one. They don't necessarily have it, but in the last 45 seconds, what do you really need to do except just hold them off? The problem is, however, Blows Up Pancakioka with Mind is finally being able to come back into mid, but I don't think they're going to be able to hold it for very long with the Zuka and the Inkstorm coming out. Identity here is desperately trying to stay alive in the middle of the map with a little bit of cover from that crab tank, but that V's Julies is going to be going down here. Identity just trying to find a way to get some advantage, to get some vantage points actually, just to be able to make sure that mid is painted up for their team, because they certainly can't push ahead when they don't have their players up. Just the stamina now.
Looks like Hydra's trying to make another ball here with 5 seconds remaining, just to seal the deal and make it to where the game ends as soon as possible. But unfortunately, they get pushed out by Blows Up Pancakioka with Mind. Looks like the Sniper does go down, and the ball's just sitting there. All they really have to do is get a nice control of mid here in overtime, and they do have 2 balls, so they could get a good start going. Unfortunately, it looks like they're slowly being pushed back more and more, and Hydra does take this game, and we're going to game 3 here, Lily.
Ooh, love a game 3. We did see actually the crab tank rolling under that basket. Perhaps that was just like the last vestiges of crack and cheese, trying to get at least perhaps a desperate jump in the final second of overtime. But that was just going to be the waiting game, I think, for Hydra, as they just waited for that overtime to end, because throughout that entire game they had a huge amount of control of the map. They were able to retake very quickly whenever Blows Up Pancakioka threatened them with their mid control briefly throughout the game. But that does mean, however, we will be moving over to game 3. How exciting! Love a game 3. Splat zones on Umami Ruins.
Split zones on Umami. If you ever get a split zone like we're seeing right now, this could be a very back and forth match. We might be seeing those zones be in limbo, one team's color, one the other team's color, especially with the skill level of both of these teams. They seem to be very similar in skill level. This might be, we're probably gonna be here for the entire timer. I'm not gonna lie here, Lily.
I hope we are. I love seeing these games that end in overtime. Super exciting, especially the first one. That Rainmaker Museum game, I love that. Overtime was intense. That was
that was an amazing game. Absolutely.
I want to see like an overtime like that here as well. The thing about split zones in Mummy is that even though you do have split zones, it feels good to actually move between them. You have a bit of cover from spine and mid. You can get high ground advantages from the spine and mid, of course. You are going to be a little bit out in the open if you've got one of your backlines on the snipe area, just to be able to kind of like clear out the middle area as well. But the great thing here is that the spots where you want to be positioning your backlines do have a little bit of obstructed views. They can't necessarily get both zones either, so they're not like super duper powerful. Of course they're good, and you can get like key like little choke points locked down with them, and getting those choke points locked down with here, I think, are going to be fantastic when you've got Toxic Mist to try and at least stop people from being able to move too far through them, or at least be able to keep them in your control for the longest amount of time possible. The other thing I like is that when you do have that choke point close to the base up in front of the zones under your control, the defending team can actually kind of move around from the pit and flank that area as well, and be close to the zone to retake as well. So it's pretty good in that respect. We're seeing a pencil on both sides now, actually, and rapid. Is that rapid pro deco?
That's rapid. That's rapid deco, not pro.
That's just rapid deco. Rapid deco.
Yes.
Okay. So and that's the one.
Hydra has 3 splatter shots on their team.
Oh yeah, 3 splatter shots. Is one of them a T-Tech?
One of them is a T-Tech,
One
yes.
of them is a T-Tech.
We've got 2 V shots and a T-Tech, yeah. Which is a very aggressive play style here.
they're definitely sticking to the guns, I'd say. Haven't been able to get the zone once just yet, but those 3 players down on the side of Blizzard, pancakioka with Mind, they certainly have an opportunity to do so. They just need to get their players there out of spawn in order to get that zone under their control, which they do at this moment with the help of the Zuka. Was that the Zuka there? They might be able to continue this push forward, but they've lost 3 members already with the Inkjet coming out just to be able to hold that zone. That wipeout, I think, is going to be helping them in any case, just to be able to keep this push going further.
Absolutely. It looks like Blows Up Pancakioka with Mine is actually doing a great job at keeping control of meta, and it looks like they're trying their best to slowly push into their base and keep them locked in. The Zuka's going to come out, though, and oh my goodness, another Zuka came out and took out 2 of them.
Hell yeah, love to see just gotta react. Just gotta react. Does look like
3 down.
Oh wow, yeah, okay, so insane play from Bao here, just to be able to get those players out of position and moving up so quickly, getting those strikes out for cover as well, making sure that they are absolutely not out of the open, but a menace. They're playing like an annoying mosquito on Blizzard pancakioka in Mind. You just want to get that player out of there, which thankfully they do. But in order to be able to keep this going the other direction, they're really going to have to clear out more of them, because Hydra is, I believe, definitely threatening their lead at this point. Not perhaps so with 2 players going down on their side, but that was definitely a strong show of force from Hydra in any case.
Definitely a strong show, definitely a strong push, absolutely. This is giving pancakioka the time to once again try to keep them locked in their base. The Tri-Strikes do come out with the Zuka as well to just try to push them back into mid so they can take a little bit more space, so they don't just get trapped in their base here, Lily.
Well,
Speaking of getting not trapped in base, Pancakioka with Mind wipes out Hydra and is now doing the good old splat zone strat of locking out.
Yeah, this is what you tend to want to do at this point in the game. Thing is, we saw actually X-Ray just trying to keep an eye on Pit when the rest of the team were actually moving up towards the spawn area, and well, there's the game to Blizzard pancakioka with a Mind. Just to continue my line of thought, they were actually trying to make sure that at least Hydra's pit was painted up that color. Keep an eye on that in case anyone finds an opening to flank them when you do start getting pushed further and further up into the base. Because the thing about zones is that you're really working with the map terrain in zones more than anything else. It really comes down to which team can fight the best, I think. And how much does the map terrain actually add to the disadvantage of pushing up further ahead? Now, you really want to have, like, I feel like a good Splat Zones map, you really want to have that map terrain making it more and more difficult the further up ahead you go into spawn. And that's why when you have, like, that pit there, that you can actually kind of, like, both flank people who are pushed up too far ahead and retake the zone quickly. I like that design here on Umami Ruins. But as we saw there, I just think that lockout was just too strong for Hydra, and blows up pancakioka with Mind. I think they'll blowing up Hydra with Mind as well in that particular match. But you know, I love a game 3. I love seeing these 2 teams play against each other. We will be coming back shortly with some more, so don't go away.
We'll be right back.
And welcome back to Swim or Sink. We are going to round 3 next, and we have a treat for you. We are going to be seeing Wyrmwind versus Rock Bottom in our final round of pools. Now, here at Inkling Performance Labs, we have a number of very important scientific experimenters here, seeing who are going to be the top squids of the day. And one of them here is actually Grace, who is, I believe, a TO, I believe the co-director of Inkling Performance Labs here on Wyrmwind, who is a junior player. I love a junior player. I love junior players. I think Junior is probably one of the most fun weapons to play myself. In Splatoon 2, I was a massive Junior fan anyway. But before we continue talking a little bit more about these teams, welcome back, Slat. And how are you feeling about this particular matchup? Because we are going to ship-shape cargo tower control, which can be pretty interesting, especially when you've got a junior player who can pop a bubble efficiently and with the extra buff that we got recently.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Ship-shape cargo co, undertow spillway, and Crab Lake Capital. Great maps, great modes. Let's start with the ship-shape cargo co here. Sorry, I had a brain fart. Ship-shape cargo co. It's tower is one of the ones that. It's one of the ones that don't have that, like, the stacks with the overhang, which I believe is, I guess only Splat Zones has that, huh? Because Rainmaker and Clams don't, right? Am I correct?
Yeah.
Like how the stacks take over. There
is no overhang here, but I do want to say that we do have Turple here actually, which is fantastic object damage weapon. But on the other side, I think Void and especially Tin, these two weapons, kind of mid-range weapons, I think are going to be working fantastically together, at least to be able to shred those bubbles, which I expect to see from the side of Wyrmwind here. Does look like they're both losing a player pretty early on, the Julies and the shot on either side. But with another player down on the side of Rock Bottom, Wyrmwind is going to be just like tentatively moving forward, making sure that at least they can get a few players out towards that first checkpoint to be able to make sure that that is clear from the push. Of course, Grace getting that bubble out just to make sure that they can clear that checkpoint here. But with the Zuka getting another pick, I think the defense on Rock Bottom at the moment is kind of just falling apart a little bit.
Yeah, just a little bit here. I will say, I wanted to comment real quick. I love Dazzler Dualies. Seeing them being used right now is really awesome. I think they're a fun weapon, and I think they have a great kit here. And as you can see, they just popped the Killer Whale to put more pressure as they push in up there on top left. Just keep the Dazzler Dualies just keeping them in base. Are you seeing this? They push back and actually.
Oh my goodness, actually we saw the Stamper kind of like be able to get over on, okay, well you see, this is what happens on tower control ship shape. If you let it get away from you, it can run through those checkpoints like they're absolutely nothing. And I think those final two picks that we saw from the Stamper, as they managed to jump off that tower, trade off with someone else, in terms of like being able to stay on the tower, just to love a fresh fish head. Love a fresh fish head. That's one of my favorite gears in the game anyway. But once you get over to that second checkpoint, getting up and making sure there's no one on that snipe trying to defend or collapse around in on that tower. What the Stamp was able to do was actually just drop down and get those two sneaky picks, and I think it just led to the wipeout that allowed them to ride the tower right to that knockout. So tower control ship shape can kind of like snowball like that. And I think what Wyrmwind had in terms of just their battle plan just kind of worked really well. It was very solid on their side.
Lily, up next, we're doing Rainmaker. Oh, sorry, my bad.
Yes. No, you go ahead, because this can be very different, and I'm excited to see how things play out here.
Yeah, I was commentating Neon Whale on Monday, and we had a Rainmaker undertow. It's quite interesting now that unpaintable area on left is gone.
Yes.
Definitely. It's a lot easier to push the left checkpoint. The left checkpoint is even safer than it was before. Now, how do you feel? I personally love it. I like the little cubbies they added on the sides of Undertow, the little little cubbies. I think it's great because it gives you more cover to push in with.
Yeah, and especially the middle of this map here being kind of the weakest area in previous incarnations of Undertow Spillway, having those extra bits of cover is going to at least allow things to kind of play out in the middle of the map a little bit better in modes other than Rainmaker, I think. But even in Rainmaker, when you're trying to take control of mid, get those that first push going, or even try and get a retake of mid and push it in the other direction, that just makes, I think, gameplay just that little bit more interesting, just that little bit better. There's more depth there. You can do more things. You can play more creatively, more expressively in mid now, which I think is a fantastic change in any case. You mentioned the safety of the left route. And yeah, it is safer.
Yeah.
If you're pushing, because with the uninkable area in the uninkable area before the change, that was always going to be like something where if you kind of rely on getting a wipeout in order to get a knockout here. But having that uninkable area there, you can just kind of swim up to the final checkpoint without doing any cool movement up on that ledge there to try and circumvent the uninkable. Still, in any case, Rainmaker is just that mode where you have to really lock in on your defense. You have to pretty much be lightning fast to be able to stop those points taken down too quickly. We are going to go into the match right now, so let's see if we're going to be getting any changes of weapon comp so far. Does look like we're seeing a few changes here. We're actually seeing the Sorella Tentabrella on the side of Wyrmwind. We're seeing a splash. I love splash. Crab tank is always going to be useful at holding areas that you want to be holding to get those checkpoints as well. Already the first pub is going to be going to rock bottom here. They're the only team with a tactical, so that would be fantastic at being able to set up a push very quickly. But those two players, them and the Blaster, already go down very quickly as Turple starts to push up ahead just to make sure that they can support this first checkpoint break from Grace here and start to get something going just to push this even further, as rock bottom has still lost a couple of players, but that's two players down on Wyrmwind, so they might just have to back up a little bit Slap.
Ooh, the crab comes out here though to just try to. I think they're trying to provide a bit of like jumps and as well as trying to get as many pitches as possible. They end up taking out the range blaster here. It looks like they're going to try to get pop again. Although rock bottom is doing a really good job at keeping their color at. Excuse me, my bad. They get the pop here, but they're still going down here. Wyrmwind, I do want to say, sing a non-cooler, like somebody run not cooler. I like saying it. Then again, I like saying when people are like, trying to not quite do the meta, and that's exciting to see here.
Yeah, and it's kind of working. Like they're using weapons. They're bringing out weapons that actually kind of work really well with certain areas of this map. Like you want to be able to hold those. You saw this Relatented shield was able to pretty much take control of those little areas around those little stacks around that checkpoint as well. Like that can provide certain amount of cover, certain amount of support for the rest of your team, because of course it can help paint as well. The Zuka, of course, that you get with that weapon is just going to be useful as one of the best special weapons. You also have a Zuka on their side with the Carbon Roller, which of course, when you can get a Carbon Roller in, can be they can be devastating under those ledges as well, which there are many of here on Undertow Spillway. You managed to get one pick, looking for another one, but it does look like Bolts is going to be taking them down in any case. Now, this is the tactical team, so even though the first checkpoint has been broken by Wyrmwind, if Rock Bottom managed to get their players in there, we can see things change very quickly.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Just like the flip of a coin, this game can change in an instant. It's something to definitely keep an eye on. Definitely never underestimate your opponent.
Yeah, for sure. Already it does look like we are seeing Wyrmwind still able to have the most amount of map control. Turple still like painting ahead. They have lost a couple of players, but And actually lost all their players here. Unfortunately, Void being able to pick them off just then. Hopefully, Void is going to help set things up in the other direction. Tactical is going to be coming out, so any push that happens next is not going to be punished too badly necessarily, but I love seeing how they've got those two players, those Slayer weapons just up ahead just to make sure this Rainmaker is safe, but that crab tank, that defensive crab tank is just going to be stopping that push dead in its tracks. This is exactly actually how I played crab tank here as well, just to end those pushes in an instant. It's great to see.
Absolutely, that was an excellent crab tank on the side of Wyrmwind, just immediately keeping the back. Although Bolts once again picking up the Rainmaker, trying to make it to that next checkpoint. We're trying to see here. It looks like the Trizuka comes out on the side of Wyrmwind, just trying their best to push back the Rainmaker if possible, which did work. They also got a pick on the Rainmaker. Just the range blaster out now. A bit of a pseudo wipe here on the side of Wyrmwind as they come back in to take more space.
Yeah, and space is something they're very good at taking up with the help of weapons that just paint super well, such as the Sorella, the Tented Sorella and also the Junior. But Grace, their Junior player, is going to be holding this Rainmaker once again. Zuka coming out from Zuka coming out followed up by a crab tank, which is going to be helping them move that Rainmaker just a little bit further ahead, not quite getting themselves in a position to continue their push further forward. But in the last 30 seconds, I think all they're really trying to do at the moment is just make sure they don't give up any of this space that they've been able to take up.
Absolutely. If they keep as much control as mid as possible, that Rainmaker is going to have to paint just to get through. As Triple picks up the Rainmaker and is pushing it a bit further, going past what used to be uninkable, going towards the checkpoint, and they take it! Wyrmwind going 2-0 against Rock Bottom. That is the end of Nessie's pools here, Lily. What an amazing just final push there. That came out of nowhere. That came out of left field, no pun intended.
Yeah, well, it certainly did. They just kind of swam like the wind there, I want to say, with that Rainmaker. They had that painted up for themselves as well. That previously unpaintable slick has now been painted up. Wyrmwind were just able to sneak it through using what they had and get that knockout as well. Something you previously weren't able to do. So that just goes to show that is another key area that you really want to keep your eyes on if you're on the defending side as well. Make sure you want to be bombing that out as well, just to slow down any of the attacking members from being able to move that through like that. But this does mean we won't be going to Clamblitz Crableg Capital, even though I do love myself a bit of Clamblitz Crableg as well. That has been the end of Nessie's pools, and that means that we have finished our tour of this part of the facility, the big old sorting room, where we will have sorted these teams into the various brackets, the various single elimination brackets, of which there are 4. We will be going to the Great White bracket next, but before we go there, we have a few things we want to show you, so don't go away just yet. We'll be back very soon.
Anti-champion pufferfish party, the night sharks.
Pixelated with the reverse sweep on cake.
Pixelated. Arrows of fire.
Calamity. Arrows of fire.
Squid strikes. Blacking raiders.
Ika Ryoku.
7, 8, 9.
Octopi. Corinthia.
Tactifeelers.
AK.
Taco breakfast burrito.
Storm in a teacup.
Just squidding.
Indigo.
Shoujo.
White siege.
Honorbound.
88 star.
Pandora's squid monks. Hyperzone.
I heard you've been trying to play without losing rank points. Well, I got the perfect thing for you. Introducing Splat Chord Squabbles. It's a new 2v2 zones event with 4 sessions for you to play in. You can join 1 or more because there is no need for 4. Just ask a friend to register and you're good to go, buddy. Now, if you're everyone like me, those first few matches are going to be a breeze, but they're going to be harder and harder throughout each event as it only takes one loss for you to get knocked out. Only the top shooters and splatters will make it through to the qualifier, and for that, we got the rewards for you. A Sendu.Inc badge and an invite to the final bracket, where you'll compete for the grand prize against other top splatters for $50 in the grand final. Big money, big band. How much is that? Not a band, but you know what I'm saying? You're getting up to a 20th of a band. Yeah. If you're just playing for fun or trying to get in on the action without playing, we'll be streaming it all live on Twitch with commentary throughout the finals. If you're rocking with that, don't forget to drop by at Discord.gg/Splatoon to get started. And we'll see you in the squabble starting April 28th. Oh my God. That shit sounds funny as fuck.
26.
And welcome back to Swim or Sink. And on our tour of the IPL Inkling Performance Labs facility, we have now moved you over to the tanks of sharks, where we'll be throwing these teams in to see who will be surviving all the way to the very end. Now, there are 4 of these single elimination brackets: Great White Hammerhead, Micro, and Lantern. Yeah, we're throwing them in. We're throwing them. We're gonna see who swims or sinks.
What? This wasn't. We're throwing them with the sharks?
Well,
I thought we were supposed to be returning them. What? I didn't sign anything, so I better not get in trouble.
All right, yeah. Well, let's just say any potential dangers that may occur here, we'll be making all of you viewers sign some non-disclosure agreements, and then let's move on from that. We'll be seeing these 2 teams: Booyah X !+1 versus Looks Fishy with this beautiful fish emoji. I actually really love how this fish emoji turns up on IPL's font here.
Absolutely, and also the fish just makes me happy.
Yeah, it does. It's a beautiful little fish. It's a cute.
Let's take a look at our stages here, Lily. It looks like up first we have Hagglefish Market Tower Control, which is something I brought up last time I was commentating. The checkpoint right next to left tent is really hard to break past, but once you break past that checkpoint, it's pretty easy to just steamroll through the rest. But until you get to that second checkpoint, it really is just going to be a back and forth here, Lily, in my opinion.
Yeah, it definitely can be. I really like Tower Control Hagglefish Market. It's one of those Tower Control maps which I think just utilizes the area, especially outside of mid, really well. Now, mid here it's very wide open, so getting those first pushes in, it can be a bit of a bloodbath. But once you get around to those second, third checkpoints towards the KO, that bloodbath is just going to be continuing, especially when you have those points of defense around underneath the tent on the left side if you're on the defending team. Dangerous spot to be if there's a Zuka charged and ready from the attacking team, of course, so you want to be careful there, I'd say.
Absolutely. Having like pencil or like any backline on that right tent there, it's just it'll be very helpful for like the first beginning fight, trying to take mid and tower. What's your go-to strategy when you play on Hagglefish Tower?
Well, me as a frontline shooter, basically, and especially as a crab tank enjoyer, I love playing V-Splash. Just making sure I can actually get up onto the other tent, the glass area, you know, the one that's overlooking their plat pretty much. If I can get on top of that and crab tank there to help get some kind of luck out, to help like divert attention as well from where the tower is, I think that is going to be like a good amount of support, at least to get towards that KO. We are going to be seeing these teams, this loadout. We are seeing, actually, there's the pencil that you mentioned, also a slosher. It's pretty I'd say pretty meta comp. Having a V slosher pencil and V shot is actually the kind of thing that I believe we saw in the last area cup from some of the top teams, plus basically a wildcard weapon, in this case the 52 gal, which of course is extremely strong as well. So fantastic. We are seeing actually on the other side a very short range comp by comparison, with their cooler player being the NZAP. Does look like that Wiper is already at the ready, getting Squiddy out of the way here, just momentarily throwing that up. Does look like Squiddy is going to be getting Toma out of the game here, and they are going to be continuing this push forward with the help of that Zuka, just to help them, just to help that defense kind of be pushed back just a little bit further. They are going to be moving up into that pretty scary area just after checkpoint 1.
Absolutely. They break through the first checkpoint pretty easily here. And this is the checkpoint right here that I was talking about that's kind of hard to like break through. So let's see if they let's see if they are able to get through it. They make it to just before the checkpoint before Looks Fishy knocks them off. Little shout out to Lil Nas X. Didn't know that he played Splatoon. Pushing the tower back for a moment there as pulls out a Trizuka, gets a trade there. It looks like it's time for Looks Fishy to try to take a crack at some of these checkpoints here, Lily.
Yeah, those are trades upon trades, but that tower is still rolling forward. They haven't quite got to that checkpoint just yet, but every single time someone touches that tower, that is going to be that tower just inching forward. We are seeing the Wiper move up ahead, helped out by Minty there on the Gal, just trying to keep their players alive. We're actually seeing a Gal on either side here, which I think is pretty good in terms of just being able to hold these areas, especially around that ramp here. We're seeing another throw of the hammer as they get lead here and also take control around that sniper area, with the Zuka coming out, actually being pushed off the tower momentarily by the Whale as well. That's 2 players down on Looks Fishy. Ooh, Booyah is gonna have to come back in strong here because this is gonna be always a difficult push getting around that second checkpoint.
Yeah, absolutely. Good job on Looks Fishy for breaking through that second checkpoint right before they got pushed off. Now all they really have to do is just ride that tower to the last checkpoint before just, you know, knocking out if they have a chance to get there, which is Booyah X, though, isn't going to take any prisoners and really wants to get to that second checkpoint. Rice Ball getting 2 of them with their bucket. They're pushing forward a bit, trying to keep them locked in their base here so they could get a better chance at taking that second checkpoint, Lily.
Yeah, it looks like those strikes are certainly going to be helping them out there. Those 2 players down on the side of Looks Fishy as well. And also with the help of that wall, things are looking pretty good. It looks like they've managed to clear out every spot of defense that they can think of at the moment. And only the Gal is left alive. However, there are still 2 points that they need to chew through if they even want to tie at the moment. And it doesn't look like they were able to do that just yet as the tower is moving back to mid and the tactical is back out for Looks Fishy. Things are certainly looking fishy here as they are definitely starting to think about moving back forward ahead. That 2-point difference is, it's neck and neck. They don't want to. You don't want to settle for a 2-point difference, as anything can happen in the last 90 seconds of a tower control game here.
Absolutely, Lily. It looks like right now we're back to playing for mid, painting the sides here. You see, basically just trying to get as much paint as possible put down, especially since Look Fishy doesn't really have a backline here. They have to play a little bit more carefully and a little bit more aggressively at the same time because they're going to have to push into at least to get that pencil. And while there are other ways like the Stamp, the Trizuka, the Killer Whale are all options to put pressure on the pencil so they can push in. So it's not necessarily a bad thing that they don't have a backline, but it might make it a tiny bit harder. But it looks like they're doing a great job with it here, Lily.
Yeah, speaking of backlines, I do see that they are definitely tugging the pencil a lot, either by flanking them out on the tower like we saw there, or even earlier when we saw the Wiper get a nice angle on them towards the beginning of the game. We are going to the last 40 seconds, however. Squeeze hopping on. They are desperate to get those last 2 points in their favor. They want to clear that checkpoint as soon as they can. The Bucket's going to be holding onto their strengths just for now, but they have lost a Gal and a shot on their side. So with that Zuka taking off that Tower Rider as well, Lil Nas X is actually just going ham here, just making sure that there's no one on that tower to move forward. But Bandy is desperately staying alive. 52 Gal at least holding this and managing to get back onto the tower before even being taken out at all by the Stamp. But they do go down with a trade, which is better than nothing. Unfortunately, it wasn't quite enough for them to be able to get those last few points in their favor. And that 2-point difference just ended up being all that it took in the end.
Absolutely. Looks Fishy takes game 1 here. Good plays on the side of Looks Fishy, by the way. Seeing that push when they got to 30 was really well played. They did a really good job at just fanning out and taking care of all the areas. Like I said, it's kind of hard to take that checkpoint because it's really easy for the defending team to get picks on that tower specifically. So Looks Fishy did a great job at fanning out and just taking care of problems as they arose, just enough to break the checkpoint here.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a strategy that I think will be a little bit more difficult on Rainmaker Scorch Gorge because you are much more restricted once you get further and further into the enemy base. And considering how far ahead that final checkpoint is, you really want to just be throwing everything you can in order to just like cheese those points forwards, almost just lunge forwards to try and get any extra points you can get if you're fighting an uphill battle. As you mentioned before in the Museum Rainmaker game, it's that uphill battle that just kind of makes or breaks your push here, I think. Rainmaker Scorch Gorge.
Rainmaker Scorch Gorge.
You're not a huge fan
I
of this
have
one.
opinions on Scorch Gorge that I will not be sharing, so you can go ahead and lead us off here.
Okay. All right then. Okay. So Rainmaker Scorch Gorge is another one of those maps where, once again, as I mentioned before, it's very difficult to get the KO because of those restricted pathways you have, very trick pointy up until that final checkpoint, and you have all the high ground around the spawn that you're going to have to be dealing with as well. However, the other thing that I quite like about here is there are some nice options to drop that tower back down into mid and to retake. Now, that first checkpoint, it's always going to be useful, but it's not everything in the world. I believe that once you get around to that 40-point mark, that's where things can start to get really where the real challenge is. I think getting past that 40-point mark. Wow, okay, that's not a weapon I expected to see, but we love to see that L3 Nozzle Nose D. That's going to be providing some chip damage with the burst bomb. That's going to be providing like a pathway with the ultra stamp as well. We are seeing an ultra stamp on the other side as well. Tom is going to be sticking to the wiper here. That pop has already gone in favor of Looks Fishy here, and Booyah is just trying to stay alive so far, but they have lost their slosher, and on the other side, that's the 52 going down already. We're trying to see these further picks coming down, 3 players down already, and the ultra stamp coming just to clear out above that ramp. And with the help of this, they took it to the other. They took it to the other checkpoint. That's not something you see every day, but I guess with all those 3 players down, you can just run it over those grates if you're running enough run speed.
They got close to taking the checkpoint, but not quite sure if it was worth those points they did take, because they didn't quite make it to the checkpoint, which means if it gets reset at all here, they need to either make that push again or go for the checkpoint here. So maybe it was a good thing, maybe it wasn't. We're just gonna have to see now.
Yeah, it's definitely not a place that you can get back up to as easily as you can up that ramp, because, you know, you can just swim there. You've got that cover from that block there and from the ramp around that pit as well. You've got those extra bits of cover which can help you move through that area and have a little bit of extra support from your team. However, those strikes did come out from Booyah X, which hopefully will have helped them come back in, but they are still going to be pushed back by Looks Fishy, who once again is picking up the Rainmaker. We saw as well these players getting that wall out around that checkpoint just to allow them the extra bit of cover to take what they need. They probably won't be able to move further forward. These strikes coming out to help at least push them out and find a pathway back into mid from the side of Booyah X. And it does look like they're doing that, just slowly inching forward, trying to take the space they need with the advantage they have. Unfortunately, they didn't quite see that that flank that was coming out from Minty here on the 52 gal.
Yeah, absolutely. It looks like Booyah X is going to try their best to let the Rainmaker oh, never mind. They're going to actually push forward with the Rainmaker instead of letting it reset. Trying to get one of these checkpoints here. They do have the special on the L3D. I actually don't know what their special is. I don't.
Ultra
what is the L3D special?
It's the ultra stamp, which we're seeing right here, actually. Yeah,
we just see them bring it out right there. As they break through the checkpoint here, Lily, looks like they're going to have a chance to get a couple more points here. If they could just get the pop and push forward just a little bit here.
Ooh. It was a close one, but I think it was just them getting cornered like that, which was going to be preventing anything from that happening. Now, the score is only 1 point different. Only the checkpoints have been broken. It can go either way at this point. But already the whale is going to be coming out just to help them move some more further into that. Yeah, it's that 41-point mark. It's around there where things get very, very difficult. But we saw the bucket just trying to rain damage down over them, but they still managed to get that Pop, however, and just lunge forward down to 21. This is a good lead for them so far, but they still have just under 2 minutes left in the game and only one player left alive. Just sharking around here in case anyone drops. They know that the Rainmaker is going to probably be dropping around that area at some point soon. They can take them out. That sneaky 52 gal, unfortunately, has been taken out before they could really make any of that plan come into action here.
Yeah, absolutely. It's giving them another chance to hopefully get a few more points, make it past that checkpoint, hopefully get far enough to take over, but getting past 21 is going to be a bit difficult for Booyah X here. They are doing a really good job at like avoiding any bombs or torpedoes thrown their way as they slowly inch closer and closer to trying to get a couple more points. They are just going for it here. They make it to 28. That was a very bold push there on the side of Booyah X.
28, but those strikes are still coming out, and they are trying to pick it up and push it forwards, providing jumps back in as well. Unfortunately, not being able to do it. However, the L3D managing to pop that Rainmaker solo and running it by 1 point. They weren't quite able to get that lead on them. Going to these last 40 seconds, all they have to do now is at least hold the Rainmaker, but 3 players have gone down here. This looks like the tides might be changing, and they might even get a knockout if they can.
Not quite.
Not quite enough.
What is happening? What? Amazing push from Booyah X here.
Absolutely. I think what happened there was they just managed to keep those players down as they were getting those numbers down in turn. All the way down to 1. They couldn't quite get the knockout with all that damage coming to them from spawn, but getting that wipeout, I think, is exactly what they need just to confirm that score of 1-1 in this set so far. Booyah X tying and
amazing play
next. Oh my goodness! Do you have any changing opinions about Scorch Rainmaker, or you're still feeling the same as before?
No, not really. That was a good game.
You know I love. It was. You know, I love to see the L3D and what they're able to do with Ultra Stamp. I think is pretty much how you can actually get some pretty strong plays with Ultra Stamp, especially in Rainmaker, and in combination as well with the strikes that we're able to just like paint the pathway up towards that final knockout pedestal as well. That just, I think, allowed them the movement forward they needed just to get those quick points to confirm their strong lead down to 1 pretty much. But yeah, it was a great match, and I love to see these kind of like off the wall weapon choices like L3D. This does mean we're actually going to Clan Blitz on Inkling Art Academy, which we saw earlier, but not between these two teams.
We did indeed see earlier, and it looks like both Booyah X and Looks Fishy are going to have to fight it out here once and for all. Let's see. What do you think? What do you think the play is here for either team? Like, are we gonna try? Are we trying to play? Are we trying to stall? Or are we trying to go for a hard wipe?
I'm not sure, honestly. Like, I can see either things happen. Knowing how we saw, I believe, was it which one was it? I can't remember if it was Booyah X or Looks Fishy. Which one was the one with the wiper? I believe that was Looks Fishy, right?
Looks Fishy had the wiper. I believe Thoma on the wiper.
Yeah, I believe that in terms of what they were able to do in that first game, I'm expecting them to just play very aggressively, get up onto their bats, and just cause mayhem.
L3.
Ooh, another L3. Okay, this time with a Crab Tank. Now, I know Crab Tank here on stacks can be very strong in terms of just holding the areas to support a push, but with weapons like a wiper, if you can actually get in and just kill the crab immediately in one hit, then that is definitely going to be a strong choice of weapon just to counter that crab. But that crab already is going to be taking that right stack just to help them out, just to help them move the players out from under the basket as they have that power clam ready to score. They do lose 3 players in the process, but that is still going to be the first clam in that basket, giving a pity clam to Looks Fishy.
Yeah, absolutely. A good start from Booyah X here.
Absolutely. We're seeing here, they're not quite giving up any space in mid at the moment, but at any point, I kind of expect a 52 gal to kind of like move out from around the corner and just like get a pick or two or something like that on them, because both teams are kind of playing 52 gal. And what we saw in the previous game is that like when they're just sharking around waiting for someone to just like move into that corner, they can just get whatever picks they want or whatever flanks they want. We did see a return push from Looks Fishy here, and that Booyah is hopefully going to be able to provide some opening just to get some more points in, which they do get some more clams in there, with the Zuka just helping them out just very briefly. But that's not going to be a very long push just yet. At least it does confirm the lead for them.
Definitely still anybody's game, especially since like what they threw in 2 extra clams there. We might be seeing a lot of back and forth here, Lily. Like, we get a ball in and a couple clams in, and maybe then we get another ball and a couple clams. Spinda just picked up another clam, popped crab here, so they can try to get another ball in. Booyah X going for the basket. They're able to break it and take the lead here. It gives them a chance to get a couple more points down. They unfortunately only get a ball and a clam in before getting completely wiped out, which is giving Looks Fishy a chance to take control of the base and immediately counter push and take the lead once again. Like I was saying, this back and forth is what we're seeing here. Oh my goodness.
Absolutely. We're seeing the Wyvern actually try to move up. Unfortunately, they are going to be dropping down into the mid, but they do manage to get... Oh, wow. Okay, Looks Fishy does manage to jump another clam in. Even though it's not crack and cheese, it's great to see these more precarious, risky jumps happen. We haven't actually been able to see Looks Fishy move up too far into Booyah X's bats, as Booyah X has been able to really control them very well on defense. The thing about Booyah X's pushes that I've seen pretty consistently so far, up until now, is that when they have made a power clam and push, they've kind of lost all their plays. At this point, however, they had all the tools they needed just to continue this push further and get another jump, just sealing the deal for them this set as well. And I think just having those strikes come out just at the right time to distract, to kind of like displace any of the defenders from being able to punish that jump in, just meant that they were able to push it all the way down to a knockout, taking this set and moving forward in Great White Bracket.
And like how calmly you just... I would have freaked out. That was an amazing push at the end there from Booyah X. I was about to pop up, but you kept going. I was like, do you see what's happening on the screen? But you're screening, you're very calmly explaining it. I was like, oh my goodness.
Yeah, man, I saw it all happen, and I was feeling this is where things clicked for. This is where things really clicked for Booyah X. Because you know those first 2 pushes, I was thinking, oh man, it's not going to be 3 times unlucky, is it, for them? Because they were able to get that first power clam, and they were able to get another one in, barely getting leads off of Looks Fishy. And Looks Fishy, pretty much every time they scored, they were able to consistently get more clams in off the back of their pushes. But once Booyah X, I think everything just kind of worked out for them in the end. They were able to get that knockout off an immense push. And I think just like Looks Fishy, I didn't quite see everything that happened. If you caught some things, definitely let me know. It was just that their defense was not able to lock in quickly enough.
No, not quite. They were able to push in.
Yeah.
Booyah X was able to push in at the end there and get that final jump they needed just to get a ball in, and that was an amazing play. I'm gonna be honest, it happened so fast that like I feel like if you blink, you miss it, you know? And yeah, I quite literally blinked and almost missed it. I will say. There's so much was happening. I won't lie. I didn't quite see what was going on the other end. Just seeing I was just watching that big number go down. I'll be honest.
Absolutely. Anyway, that's going to be it from us, I believe.
Yeah, that's going to be it for us. We're going to move on for the rest of Great... it's Great White, right? Great white cut. Stick around though, because we've got two other commentators coming on. Your favorite power couple, Six and Maddie. Give them a warm welcome for us when you get here. Lily, where can the people find you?
You can find me on Twitch and Twitter at LilyGravyBread. I sometimes stream stuff. You'll probably see me commentating here at Swimless Sync, also over at Dapple Productions sometimes as well, and some other places. And where can the good people of the Twitch chat find you, Slat?
Well, you could find me on Twitter at Slatica1, as you can see on screen right up. Well, it just went away. Well, shoot. As you could see above, I also stream and make videos. YouTube.com/@Slatica, just like as you see on screen when my name pops up, or Twitch.tv/Slatica. I do also stream sometimes. Come by and check me out sometimes. But that is it for us. We're going to be going for a quick break before we pass the mic on to the next set of commentators. I want to do a huge shout out real quick for the TOs, the streamer. I'll shout out the commentators too. Everyone that makes it possible to where people can enjoy and watch these streams. If I could get thank yous in chats for everyone who worked so hard to make sure you guys are able to enjoy this, it would mean a lot to all of us. But with that, we will see you later. Enjoy the rest of SOS 145.
And I think anti-champion is gonna win. And they win. And anti-champion pufferfish party the night sharks.
Pixelated with the reverse sweep on cake.
Pixelated. Arrows of fire.
Calamity. Arrows of fire.
Squid strikes. Blacking raiders.
KYO
7, 8, 9.
Octopi. Corinthia.
Tactifeelers.
AK.
Taco breakfast burrito.
Storm in a teacup.
Just squidding.
Indigo.
Shoujo.
White siege.
Honor-bound.
88 star.
Pandora's squid monks. Hyperzone.
I heard you've been trying to play without losing rank points. Well, I got the perfect thing for you. Introducing Splat Chord Squabbles. It's a new 2v2 zones event with 4 sessions for you to play in. You can join 1 or more because there is no need for 4. Just ask a friend to register and you're good to go, buddy. Now, if you're a real one like me, those first few matches are going to be a breeze, but they're going to be harder and harder throughout each event as it only takes 1 loss for you to get knocked out. Only the top shooters and splatters will make it through to the qualifier, and for that, we got the rewards for you. A Sendu.Inc badge and an invite to the final bracket where you'll compete for the grand prize against other top splatters for $50 in the grand final. Big money, big band. How much is that? Not a band, but you know what I'm saying? You're getting up to a 20th of a band. Yeah. If you're just playing for fun or trying to get in on the action without playing, we'll be streaming it all live on Twitch with commentary throughout the finals. If you're rocking with that, don't forget to drop by at Discord.gg/Splatoon to get started. And we'll see you in the squabble starting April 28th. Oh my God. That shit sounds funny as fuck.
Hello, welcome all, big and small, to the greatest tournament of them all. It is Swim or Sink 145. I am Miss Pixie 6, and I'm joined by the great, the fabulous, the wonderful iMad Gamer the Second. Say hi, iMad.
Hello, it is iMad Gamer. We're going to be starting off in round 2 of the Great White Bracket, MANTABACK versus Pickup.
Yes, their name is actually Pickup.
That is exactly what it is on the tin. They are very self-explanatory. They are indeed a pickup. I don't know if we would have known that otherwise.
Yeah, true. Maybe it's a really great name. We wouldn't have known.
Or they're fooling us, and it's actually
Yeah, it's not actually a pickup. It's a team just called Pickup. We don't know.
The ultimate mind games.
All right, it looks like their first match is going to be Clam Blitz on Crab Lake Capital. How do you feel about Clam Blitz, iMad?
I like Clam Blitz. It's Crab Leg I have the issue with.
Why? What's wrong with Crab Leg?
It's mostly a very difficult map. Like I keep talking about the ramp because it's pretty much the only safe route. I say safe route. When the team's alive, it is not a safe route. But I have trouble on it with my current map pool, so it could be just a skill issue on my part. But
at least you're honest.
It's just a lot of open area. Like they have a lot of grading, a lot of open area in the middle, and then the choke point on the Clam Blitz is rather oppressive. Like unless you can get around that flank area, which they have a backline, there's no way you're getting around that without getting spotted.
True, unless you're very, very sneaky.
Unless you're very, very sneaky.
Yes, as a sploosh player, I have found routes around that main ramp area. You could go on the grates. You could go on the far left side and get up that way. I think on this one.
But I will say it does bring out the best in the team coordination, because you do need a lot of team coordination, a lot of good coordinated specialists to break that blockade. Even if one or two members are up, it's going to be difficult to get in. Duca is one of the popular choices because of all those green, all that open area. Just you can get some good line of sight on people. Likewise, the pencil is used quite often because of the grading, the run speed that you get with the pencil, and just the range it has. It's so oppressive.
I've seen a lot of back use also for Clam Blitz. It's not a very popular choice, I would say, but maybe we'll see someone pull it out. You never know.
Yeah, in fact, we usually see it on a tent umbrella. Is less common, but it is a good choice, and it's one of the maps where it really shines. But we're not going to be seeing a tent umbrella today, but we are going to be seeing. Ooh, there is the pencil I was talking about, but we're also seeing the pencil and double shot.
I'm liking these dualies picks too, with the Belugas for MANTABACK and the I forget which dualies these are for pickup over here.
With the jet for the dually squelchers. In fact, that's going to be the ones that jump from Beacon, if I'm not mistaken. So I wonder if they're going to be using that for the jump or for the beacons or both. But we see here the headed, the cool weapon choice, already trying to push up the right side. Flatlings tend to have that run speed advantage, but it's hard because of the range that the pencil has.
Looks like Toa here on Viper trying to find some way to get in, but looks like Pickup's being pretty aggressive here. They have a power climb. They are holding the ramp. They've got the Zugas. Solo here getting a pick with one. Ooh, and they've got that respawn Punisher, so it's not going to be super fun for MANTABACK to get back in.
I would say that is a bold choice on Solo's part, because his shot tends to be aggressive, his shot tends to go in, and whether they live or die, who knows, but when you're running respawn Punisher, it doesn't just affect your enemy, it affects yourself. So if you don't win your fights, it's going to be a hard time for you too. But they are sneaky. Well, I'm expecting that they're winning the fights, and they are no longer winning the fights. But
they were really confident about their fights. Oh no, we've got a DC on the side of MANTABACK. It looks like they are going to stop here. Yes, they have stopped, so they can get their player back.
If almost to get a DC on, you want it to be Clambless, because neither one of them has even scored. I forget what the time of the rules for that, but I know as long as it's with above 50 points, they should be fine.
Yeah, I mean it seemed like the entire team agreed to run it back, so they're in within the rules to do it again.
I suppose because they're also running that cool, that kind of negates the respawn Punisher effect, but still, that is a bold choice, my man.
Well, they were doing pretty well with it, and they felt confident enough to have Respawn Punisher and still hold the Power Clam, knowing that, there's a big target on their head. But, if you're confident and you can pull it off, then why not try it?
There you go. Just looking at what we saw so far, I didn't see any sneaky beacon placements in that last one. And
they were getting to it. Just gotta give them some time.
They have like a minute and a half, but you know what? We'll see what they bring out this time. Gonna be running it back, same weapons, same comp, different opening.
Yeah, we're watching MANTABACK doing a lot of painting right off the bat here. Although Pickup has their base painted pretty well too. Seeing a lot of aggression on this right side here. The dualies trying to get a pick, but they go down themselves. Jelly getting a pick here now for MANTABACK. There's 3 up on both sides, both making a lot of trades, just trying to get to wherever the clams are. But gosh, there's a lot of back and forth so far.
Indeed, we just see 2 members of MANTABACK go down. Now it's going to be Pickup's turn to lose 2 of the members. Interesting, I just noticed both teams are running a really uncommon dually. We have the Google dualies coming in from MANTABACK, which is going to have the flash on the Booyah Bomb. Rather a solid choice for just holding space and be able to break in when they need to. The Booyah Bomb a little bit more longer lasting than the Zukas, just because of how the timing of the Booyah Bomb works.
Right, he over here on the pencil trying to get some paint down, getting the cooler out for their team, collecting these clams, getting the Power Clam, but 2 of the members of MANTABACK do go down. We do have to play it safe here. There's a Booyah going off from work on this right side, but they also go down. MANTABACK is going to have to play some strong defense here while Pickup gathers some clams and gets a lot of ground here.
Hyper, and now the shot going down. This could be the start of something, but once again, just 1 member alive can really hold that choke point, but they're able to break through and get the wipe out. That's exactly what you want to see for clams on Crab Lake. They're able to get it down to 60, 59, 56. We'll see if they have any backup. Honestly, if they're able to hold as much ground as it is, they could prepare themselves for another push, but unfortunately that is going to be 2, now 3 members down. Mint choosing to stay alive? No, they are not.
Yes, it's a wipeout from MANTABACK after Pickup had just gotten their wipeout. Now this is a good chance for MANTABACK to get some clams, take some area, get some paint down, but it looks like they're playing it pretty safe here. There is a Zuka that is coming out, but they were not able to get any picks yet. Rig on this edit, able to take out an Ultra Stamp. Looks like MANTABACK is not having much luck trying to push the enemy ramp.
Yeah, if the pencil has the range, the defensive and the fire rate of that head, it can really lock down that ramp. Even if they don't hit the opponent, there's the fact that they can paint that so well, which means that there's no way they can swim up it for free. But they did lose 3 of the members and still managed to hold on. We'll see if they're able to continue to do so, but the pencil getting a nice spot right there to open up the map for teammates. They don't have any specials online to really open things up any further, but they're certainly holding mid quite well.
Yeah, there's still a lot of back and forth going on. Neither team really getting a lot. And as I say that, Kelly here with the Zuka getting a pick. Looks like the team MANTABACK is really close to the enemy basket, but they just don't have the rest of what the paint that they need to get it in. Work goes down as they're trying to jump back. Looks like there's a DC on the side of MANTABACK though.
It's so unfortunate because sadly that is, whether it's for time or for points, we are past the restart time, so they're going to have to make do with what they got. MANTABACK, they did not have any points in when they had the 4 members, and now it's going to be Pickup going in for another clam open. Several clams in their possession to follow it up. They're going to get past those penalty points for sure. We'll see if MANTABACK's able to rally and break them or just push them out.
Yeah, it looks like Pickup here was able to get a whole bunch of clams in. Now the chumps go out. They're able to continue taking the space. So Solo does go down right there.
Solo going down, but nonetheless, they have 2 members down. It is just the Grugas holding the defense right now. They have that Paracalam possession. If they're able to make sure that happen, they have the points to do so. But right now, just Pickup with their overwhelming members right now is holding so much space, so much paint control, and it's going to take some sort of special coordination. Look at there, 2 numbers down, 3 numbers down. That's exactly what MANTABACK was looking for.
Yes, MANTABACK able to take a lot of mid space here. They do have a power climb in their possession now, but all of pickup is back up. They are holding the ramp pretty strong here, with Shinnery getting a pick on the power clam holder. Jelly just trying to stay alive in this back corner. They are, they got a trade on the corner here. Solo pushing up. They are trying to build another power clam to try and get one in.
That was MANTABACK's last power clam, and with 10 seconds remaining, they have to like make another one soon if they want to bring it to overtime. But it doesn't seem like they have. Oh no, they do have that at the back. They are going to be able to spin a little bit longer, but just once again, pick up is holding the line exceptionally well. Just so much paint, so much. But the nice Zuka shot going to take 2 numbers down. They might just have a chance.
Yes, looks like MANTABACK is trying their hardest to push up to the enemy ramp. Ooh, Jelly almost got up the ramp to get the clam in the basket, but they were taken out. Unfortunately, this one goes to pickup.
Even with their player out of commission, MANTABACK fought hard for that last one. And even if they couldn't get the lead back, they still had such a close chance of getting that basket open. But it's unfortunate to see GG's to pick up for getting this first match, but it is not over yet. We still have 2 more to go.
That's true, and because of that unfortunate DC, it seemed to be quite easy for the other team to take that one. But hey, you never know what's going to happen.
There you go. And it is going to be Rainmaker on Undertow. New and improved Undertow.
True.
I wouldn't say Undertow 2.0, more like 1.3 maybe?
Why would you say that?
It's not a complete overall. It's got some tweaks. I feel like Rainmaker is the most changed out of all the modes so far.
You think so?
Just the fact, like, you have all the other changes are pretty consistent across the modes, but there's only Rainmaker that has like the right side just completely inkable now and like completely opened up. The other modes are a little bit more consistent with their little tweaks.
Interesting. Yeah, I don't know. I suppose I haven't been able to compare all of the different kinds of Undertow yet, so I couldn't tell you. I couldn't tell you which is the most different of all of the Undertows.
I do know that how they changed that side once again, just like completely changed how Rainmaker played, because we were talking about Crab Lake having choke points. That used to be the Undertow choke points because it was narrow, uninkable, and like really favored defense. Now, like, if the attacking team is able to kind of get that advantage, they're not having to be slowed down by some sort of slicks or like narrow airways. They can just like move when they get that opportunity.
Sure. I'm just interested to see if the same weapons are going to come out for Undertow Spillway. If those same interesting dually picks are going to be used here.
It's interesting because I know that the way that Undertow is set up is like it is completely different from Crab Lake. Just like you have a lot more confined spaces, you don't have as much open area, and there's a lot of, because it's indoors, just the amount of ceiling fixtures can really get in the way of certain specials. Zuka being one of them. If you're not aiming it precisely, you could randomly hit, the pillar or something.
Yeah, I suppose. I mean, but that's always a threat, right? That's always something that you have to be mindful of when you're using a weapon like that.
No, absolutely. Yeah, because it was interesting because they were using those beacons. Not only were the beacons good for kind of like jumping in, Crab Lake is a pretty large map, but just the recon they had with the beacons, be able to look at the map, especially that one that was right on their under their basket, it could certainly keep an eye out for those ledge campers. I could see that happening here for Undertow. Is this smaller map, so perhaps the jumping power of it is not as strong, but the fact that I can like just look for those sharks and those little crevices can certainly come in handy. But I don't know about chumps for Rainmaker though. It was certainly good for taking space in Clam Blitz, but I would assume they would want something a little bit more aggressive for Rainmaker.
You don't think it's a priority to take space in Rainmaker? I feel like it is. I feel like you want to get ahead of wherever the Rainmaker is going to be, right? And something like Chumps is going to take that space pretty easily, as opposed to something more aggressive like maybe a Crab or or a Zipcaster might.
That's fair. That's fair. I think perhaps, like, again, well, I'm gonna say that it'd be harder just because of how confined Undertow is. You don't get the same value as like having a whole bunch of that open space taking chunks. But I don't know. Maybe they can make something work with that. I certainly think the Booyah would be seeing coming back. Like even if it's the vanilla or the Deco version, like both of them are pretty strong.
Okay. I just don't usually see Booyahs just in general. Even dualies themselves are not a super popular pick. I've seen the vanilla dualies get used, but mostly for people who want to have a crab on their team, not necessarily because of the dualies themselves.
Yeah, I think dualies, especially the Booyah dualies, they really are only popular if you're passionate about the weapon. Like if you're just looking to pick up a weapon, it's not necessarily your first choice for a Booyah weapon, your first choice for a splash wall weapon, because you basically have the 52 for splash wall, and it comes with whale and a same 2-shot kill, but you get a lot more pain out of it. And then you got machine on Booyah. Like that is the dominant Booyah weapon for a while.
Ooh. Yes, we are seeing work here with the vanilla dualies with that crab, as we were just talking about. And it looks like they are not using dualies on the side of pickup this time. They instead have the Price Slasher and the... Actually, a lot of their weapons changed, haven't they?
Yeah, they're bringing up the Price Slasher neutral and the vanilla. Yeah, they can really change their lineup. That's the Squeezer and the Splasher. Both kind of like that midline. They're going for a little bit of range, and they completely drop the edit.
Interesting. Let's see if the Tri-Slasher can keep up with all the sodas. Looks like Solo here with the Rainmaker is now pushing this left side. Ooh, it looks like a pretty clear shot to the Rainmaker pedestal, even though the Zukas are going out from the side of MANTABACK. The Rainmaker holder does go down, though, unfortunately, but it looks like Pickup is able to pop it still. Maybe they can try and get it forward, but the crab on the side of MANTABACK is really holding them back.
With the top, but they're looking to just get in, getting the potential down, but they unfortunately do go down themselves, allowing the Rainmaker to reset here. But still, they got a little good control of mid. They didn't overextend. They didn't devote so much vampire to that push. They were left wiped out, so they were able to hold a lot and be able to kind of recover while Manticore push back in.
Looks like Jelly over here with Zuka, not able to get a pick, unfortunately, but still trying to hold this right area here. One of their teammates did go down. It looks like Pickup is trying to really take control of this Rainmaker without touching it. They are pushing up on the right side. They are able to take a lot of space here in mid, so two of them do go down. It is a good opportunity for MANTABACK to try and take this Rainmaker and move forward with it.
They got two of their members down. They took the checkpoint in their first push, so they don't have to really rush things here. Ooh, and that was a nice spot with Zuka there. Make sure they didn't get that checkpoint, so that's going to give them a little bit of breathing room to make Manta fight a little harder for the next time.
And it looks like Solo here looking for enemies to pick off. They do get one here. There is another one. Ooh, and they got them with the Zuka. Let's go. Let's see Solo here trying to take more space, but it looks like MANTABACK is really in control of mid still, even though not a lot of their teammates are up in mid. Not a lot of them have specials ready. They're not really able to push this Rainmaker right now as it's being reset.
Yeah, once Pickup, they locked down that corner right there, made it hard for Manta to get back in, but I think Manta has a presence of mind to do kind of what Pickup did. They just held mid, they rallied and got ready for the next push, and here we go. Two members of Pickup down, and they're going to be going for that quick checkpoint on the right there, completely going to the lead.
And it looks like Pickup here was not able to stop them in time with MANTABACK getting this checkpoint. Pickup has it very well painted now, though. Although there is a Ultra Stamp on the side of Koa getting two picks now. They pick up the Rainmaker. They move a little bit forward, taking the lead here.
That was a nice play by the Viper out there. They got the 3 down, and then they're able to push the Maker for a couple more points. And they're still going. Working it right there, going up a 6, bringing it down to 33. I don't honestly don't know if that's a safe push, but still, that's going to give them a lot of breathing room here.
No, that was definitely a cheeky push. It could have been really easy to pick them off there, especially on the uninkable ramp. And Pickup did what they could to get rid of them as quick as possible, but they still got that lead of 33. Pickup now trying to get this Rainmaker popped as it's reset. It is still a stalemate here in mid. There's 2 down though on the side of MANTABACK. Pick up in a good position to try and get some points here.
Yeah, they're really getting aggressive. They had that kind of comfort of the lead before, but now they're left in the dust, so they're going to have to really push it because they got to get past 33 points, and even if they take that left, it's going to have to really extend past that kind of corner right there, and that's going to require just really moving Manta out of the way. They're trying to pick up the Rainmaker with the Zuka, but they still live through the Zuka
Oh
and the
no!
Maker. And there goes the Rainmaker carrier with just a squeezer left alive, but they're going to be jumping in and possibly surviving.
Yeah, it looks like Finner here was able to stay alive for a little bit, taking out Jelly. Now there is a rig that was there with the slosh ship, but they get taken out quickly as well. Latias now has the Rainmaker for the side of MANTABACK. They're resetting it. Let's see how this continues to go in mid, though.
You know what? I don't know if that was the player or not. Like, they got it quickly out of that corner, but with 17 seconds left, Pickup had a lot of control in mid, and they basically gave the Rainmaker right back to them. Like, this is going to be it right here. Like, they have that lead, but they're going to have to defend it with all they got.
Oh, just like Solo here with this Rainmaker. They are trying to push forward. There's only 3 up on the side of MANTABACK. This is a good opportunity. But the Zuka came out from MANTABACK and was able to pick off Solo, taking them down, giving this game point to MANTABACK.
GG says the Zuka, and MANTABACK is still in this set. It was unfortunate that they had the man down in the last game, but they are making up for it big time in this next one.
Oh, definitely. And they were they were being a little cheeky, I feel, when they got that first checkpoint and they were still trying to get points afterwards. It wasn't a safe push. They didn't have the strength of their whole team behind them, but because they were able to crawl forward just a little bit more, they were able to hold that small lead.
I was worried about, like, they were able to push the points, but was it enough to, like, I don't know, really hold on to that? Because I know there's some points in Rainmaker, like, you get there, it's like, oh yeah, this is not that big a easy to back there. Sometimes, like, I know for scores, you get down to 26, like, all right, there is very little chance of them being able to get past us unless they wipe us out, so we can make sure we stay alive. And I think that was one of those situations right there.
Yeah, they were trying to get as few points left as possible, trying to, like, do little jumps on the uninkable ramp. It's very funny when teams do that. But hey, if that's what gives you your lead, then go for it, I say.
Exactly. And it's going to bring us to match point for both of these teams on Power Control Mako Mart. Going to be rounding out round 2 of the Great White Bracket. Now we're basically going from largest stage, mid-sized stage, to extremely confined and tiny stage. Mako Mart is, like, this is where that tri-slosh and that bucket's really going to be able to shine, because they can really take a lot of those rushes, a lot of these tight corners, and win some of these 1v1.
Yeah, this is a good place for buckets. There's so many ledges in Mako Mart that it can get very oppressive if you know what you're doing. And maybe that's what's going to be the play here for Pickup. Yeah, I'm not sure what else is very, like, super strong on Mako Mart right now. I feel like a lot of crabs find a lot of aggressive points to keep out the enemy.
Well, I feel like with Tower Control is all about how you can capitalize off that momentum. Like, you know, zones, you really want a lot of that kind of, like, space holding and be able to hold a lot of pain, but Tower Control is being able to, like, push up how far back can you push the opponents, and how far up can you get yourself. So, like, when you get that tower up to the first checkpoint, you get a nice little ledge top right there, and you have a lot of space to get to the goal to.
That's true. A lot of good starting opportunities, a lot of good sneaky plays.
All right, here we go. Round 3 of the second round of Great White Bracket. This is going to be for the match point. We've seen the pencil make a return as well as the wiper.
Oh, there's no buckets.
Ooh, no buckets whatsoever. Instead, they're going for that double shot once again, and they're bringing out the squeezer. Is that the custom squeezer? No, the foil squeezer.
Foil squeezer, yes.
And that's going to bring out the auto bomb and the splatter screen.
Yeah, we see Finnery here on this squeezer, getting 2 picks right away. Let's see if they grab the tower here. Pickup in a good position to do so. They are still chasing members of MANTABACK out and away from the tower, though.
That was a nice opening pick right there. Unfortunately, it is going to be met with a Zuka shot to the tower, taking out their end zap, but they're going to be turning in kind of their own Zuka shots. But they lose to their own members. That really backfired them, and it's going to give MANTABACK an opportunity to really push the tower themselves.
Yeah, Ultra Stamp comes out on KYO here on this Viper. They weren't able to get any picks, but they were able to push Pickup back as they had to jump out to avoid it. Looks like this tower is being hotly contested. Pickup able to run to it very quickly. Oh, we have the Viper from MANTABACK trying to grab this tower, trying to get this checkpoint, but it looks like too many members are up. Too many trades are going back and forth for anyone to really get any points from it.
I talked about how in the Clipper Flush with Defiance basically it's going to come down to like which team is able to win more of the 1v1s, but it also kind of the other side of that is like it's going to force a lot more 1v1s than say that Crab Light. Crab Light, you're able to play a little bit safer, play on your side of the map. But here we just see dogfights all over this map. Just such a scrappy set so far. Like neither team's really gotten past the checkpoint just because of how quickly they can recover and start firing back.
Alright, looks like Rig is on this tower now. They're trying to get this checkpoint. A lot of the members of Pickup are all buzzing around it. They are getting picked off here, though, as the members of MANTABACK seem to be surrounding it. Now this hammer comes out from KYO. They're able to hold this mid area. They're painting it up. They're moving forward. They're finding the members of Pickup hiding on this right side here.
Viper took down 3 members, takes down 1, but goes down themselves. Shiny here with the squeeze. They're going to be going back to defense. Sensible Violin Tower with the cooler on hand, but we've got to wait for it to come online. MANTABACK to the top players first, but no, 2 members are going to be going down, and the third one's going to have to watch out as they're going to be run out by several members that MANTABACK pick up, but they are going to jump out safely.
That was a good jump from Jelly there. They were getting surrounded by Pickup really badly there. But it looks like all the members of both teams are just fighting it out here in mid. None of them look like they're about to touch the tower, but as I say that, Rig jumps on it for a few seconds just to try and move it forward. Looks like Pickup is trying to be aggressive on this left side of the map. Scenery here on the stack, trying to get some a pick over on this right side. They're not able to find anyone, but they are throwing the auto bombs. They are trying to be aggressive. They are trying to hold their space.
3 minutes in, and we're finally past that first checkpoint. Here we're seeing that momentum really kicking right here. Pickup getting 2 members down, really pushing up onto that ledge, and then onto the second checkpoint. If they're able to keep this up with 2 members down, however, they are going to have to back out. Many are going to be taken out by a Zuger shot, and this is going to be MANTABACK taking part before the second checkpoint is eaten through, but still. We're 3.5 minutes in, and that's down to 34 points. With penalty for one MANTABACK that amounts to that 2 of their own members go down.
This looks like Pickup here has all 4 of their members up. They are all in mid. They are throwing bombs. They are taking space. Ooh, they have taken the tower now. They are trying to get some more picks here as MANTABACK respawns on this right side.
And he's going to pick up in control of the tower. And they're just kind of playing for space at this point with a minute left. Like, they don't have to push super aggressive anymore. If they're able to keep MANTABACK kind of contained, that's certainly going to work out for them in the better play. You see here, MANTABACK trying to make some plays on the right side. Dooley is going to be down with a bit of a flank there. And just the rest of them are stuck on that ledge. Like, who needs a bucket when you can just keep them at bay like it is?
Ooh, it's like Shinnery here trying to fall back from this crab on the side of MANTABACK. Ooh, there's a lot of specials going off as Pickup is just trying to hold this tower. It is moving backwards, though. None of them have been able to touch it quite yet. They are just trying to get picked here. KYO going down. Ooh, it's just so much back and forth here. It's so aggressive.
And we're getting to the point where, like, MANTABACK is trying to work and make something. They get 2 members down here, but they're taking on a lot of engagements where they are outnumbered. They finally get the man advantage here, able to get some space, but we're taking 10 seconds. Like, all it takes is a well-placed special and just hop on the tower and that could be the game here. They're going to have to really buckle down and make sure they hold this tower, but the suction bombs are just going to be coming in.
Yeah, I'm waiting. Pickup trying to rush to the tower as all these bombs are keeping Latias from holding it. And that is what happens. A member of Pickup able to run and jump on the tower as Latias falls back from all of those suction bombs. And this one goes to Pickup.
Both these teams right at the beginning of the match were doing a good job of just like making sure the other team couldn't get anything momentum going. Like it was 3 minutes of just stalemate. Like,
Oh, definitely.
neither team could push forward farther than that first checkpoint. But then like once Pickup kind of got that momentum rolling, they were able to get back to the first checkpoint, and that's when things started to spiral out of control for MANTABACK, and they just couldn't like regroup after that.
Yeah, I feel that. I think they were just split up enough, and the other team was so aggressive that they stopped them from being able to form a strong defense, being able to stop the other team from moving forward as much as they did.
Mm-hmm. They got into that situation where they didn't have to take the 1v1s, but instead could take the 2v1s and the 3v1s, and it's just like they kept that going for such a long time. And the other thing I wanted to point out for like Nekomar is you kind of got to split your offensive force when you're taking that first checkpoint, but on the flip side, that means that the other team is very limited on how they can approach back in mid.
Gotcha. Well, it looks like for the next bracket, the semis, that Pickup will go against, what team is this? The KYO GLAZERS? Interesting team name.
Well, it is led by the great KYO themselves, so
they can call themselves whatever they want at that point, I suppose.
Exactly. In fact, with the things how things rolled out last one, we are ready to get into the next one already. Semifinals of Great White Bracket. So we'll hang around as they get started.
Okay, I remember this team. The next team that we're gonna see in semis. It's like LGBTQ, but I guess you say it like French. I'm not going to. You're going to be LGBTQ, and you're going to like it.
LGBTQ.
And then Hoenn has too much water. Is Hoenn a Pokemon reference? Would you know? You're the wrong person to ask.
I have not played Pokemon.
It's a Pokemon reference. I know that much. I do not know what region of Pokemon, like what game, I suppose.
Isn't that like the Hawaiian-esque one?
Is it the Hawaiian-esque one? Oh, it is also the name of the owner of IPL. So maybe it's referencing that. Maybe it's not referencing Pokemon. I choose to believe it's referencing both.
Why does Hoenn have too much water? Can you have too much water? We're here to stay hydrated. Stay hydrated, y'all. if Hoenn has too much water, he's got to share it with the rest of us.
Yeah. I feel like this could be a reference to either one, either Pokemon or the person Hoenn. But why does Hoenn themselves have too much water? That's what I want to know. I'm curious.
That is the question.
That is the question. I demand to know. If they win, I demand to know.
They must share at the end.
They must share the water.
They must share the water.
All right. It looks like for these teams, their first match is going to be Splat Zones on Ship Shape. How do you feel about Splat Zones on Ship Shape, Imad?
I like it better than Tower, I'll say that much. I don't know. Like, Ship Shape is one of those weird ones where, like, you have the most diverse map in Turf War of all maps. Zones, I would say, comes in a close second because you have that nice high rise over the zone that kind of like canopy, very reminiscent of Shellendorf. You get into some of the other modes, they just really open it up for you. Like they lower all that down to the ground. It's like the same thing with Torch on Rainmaker. You lose a lot of that kind of diverse structure and cover. But Zones is an interesting map to play. It's going to come down to like having control of that high ground. And I think if we've been seeing a lot of pencil in use, that is going to be pretty dominant on the high ground.
Mm-hmm. I feel like the high ground here, though, if you have both enemy teams or both teams on that high part in the middle, that they would just be shooting at each other. And I wouldn't think that Pencil would be a good choice there because Pencil isn't as long range as, say, like E-Leader.
It's close.
Is it close?
It's so close. The only thing that Pencil lacks that the E-Leader has is the E-Leader can one-shot them, so they have that.
True.
And if you have the scope does actually have a little more range than the Pencil does, but it's not as much as you would think.
Interesting. I would have thought that the E-Leader would have a lot more range, but it makes sense what you're saying, that because the Pencil doesn't one-shot, maybe it makes up for that in its range.
Now, of course, like to your point, because of like this how it's the slope of the front. Like if you're on top and you're fighting the enemy team, the pencil being a very straight shooter is going to have a little bit of trouble with kind of that arch in the middle. But if they're on the defending team and they're holding the enemy back like across the stage, like, that's when they really shine.
All right, now it is time to see both of these teams. See, Kyogre, that's a Pokemon reference. This is a Pokemon reference.
Ooh, we're gonna be seeing that pencil, but they're gonna be bringing up the brush and the vanilla Nautilus at that.
And Aegislash. Sorry, I'm still in my Pokemon rant.
See, she knows more about Pokemon than I do.
That's okay. You know more about Splatoon than I do. We balance each other out.
That is fair. That is fair. Both teams gonna be rocking the pencil for that cooler. Both are rocking what?
Ah.
You better take notes. Take notes.
I will. Looks like Aegislash on this right side here, picking up a lot of space. They are getting cornered though, and they jump back as Miles, I'm guessing that's supposed to say Morales. Miles here on the right, trying to use their slosher to get some space here. Not able to find any picks though. They use their strikes to keep it going. Oh, they're not really able to take it away from LGBTQ though.
Very interesting. Just like they're both running kind of that pencil brush combo, but other than that, their comps are going for a little bit different style. We see the more traditional shot on the side of LGBTQ, and we have that Nautilus calling up for a little bit of mid-range, but right now it's Blaster and the Bucket combo. They're kind of lacking for pain, and we see that here as LGBTQ have the lead at 33 up. But right now, if like Hoenn has too much water, they can get kind of that flat chain going. Like that's what they really want to go for. That's what they're beautiful. But they're just kind of stuck on the back foot right now.
Yes, looks like LGBTQ able to keep control of mid here, even though Kyogre is right in it. They're trying to use their blaster to find more picks here, but they're just not able to. Swag on the side of LGBTQ, taking out two members of Hoenn has too much water. They're hiding behind this block here, but they're able to continue being a big pressure point for Hoenn.
Yeah, we talk about like even though there's a lot of open area where that pencil can shine, because of like these little blocks in the middle, like we see their Swag. They're in good position. Like there's not because of the comp of Hoenn has too much water. They can't really approach that on their own, and they're just doing some nice spots right there. We're getting down to 20 points here with two members of Hoenn has too much water down. Like they gotta make a last minute push to Hail Mary here if they want to keep this game to KO.
Ooh, looks like Swag here able to hold zone as it ticks down to 0. LGBTQ gets this first game point.
Like I think Hoenn Hoenn has too much water. Got a total of like 7 points during that match. And, like they had a good strategy going. They were going for kind of like that mid-range, like splat heavy comp, but just like because of the Nautilus and the shot, they just didn't have enough paint to kind of support that. You know, like they had the pencil and the brush, but they were locked out pretty hard.
Oh, definitely. I thought it was interesting how members of Hoenn were in mid. They were there on the zone. They were just not able to paint it. I think just the weapon choices like the blaster, just trying to be aggressive, and even things like the brush, like they're not meant to paint the zone. They're not meant to hold it the same way that the members of LGBTQ were.
And both of those really struggled against the match of the Nautilus again. Like it didn't have a whole lot of range, but it had just enough to outrange them when they needed to. And like you said, they had enough of a fire rate to outpaint them as well. So they're just kind of stuck if they weren't able to get the first shot off.
Definitely. All right, next we are going to see Clam Blitz on Museum. How do I feel about this map? I think I like this map mode because Museum is pretty standard, I feel, for map mode choices in competitive play. And it's straightforward. You know, you have your plat, you have your ramp, you have your sneaky little point on the side with that block that nobody takes, but some people take because they like to be sneaky.
I think that if Hoenn has too much water wanted to run that same competent, they would have a little bit better luck on this one. Not only do they have a little bit wider space to work with, you're not as confined to that kind of central route down to the zone, but you also have that little flank on the side that kind of go around if that Nautilus tends to set up somewhere. But also, the plant basket is on that flat right there. There's no central objective, so they can kind of play a little bit more defense on their own home turf, if nothing, just to stall out the time.
You think it's a better comp because they have kind of the ability to go all over the map? They have the ability to spread out more so than they did on zones?
I say so. Maybe a combination of the mode and the map. Like I said, when they weren't able to take control of mid off the bat, like they had trouble getting back in, not only because of the pencil, but also again because of the knot, and they didn't have any alternate avenues. Museum has some alternate avenues they can take if they want to try to just like be a little bit cheeky with it.
Not seeing a lot of weapon changes for either team. Interesting. I'm wondering how the combination of weapons is going to continue being for Hoenn.
What they want to do is, like, if they're able to take control of it, they want to get underneath that ledge with that bucket and the blaster. The buckets and blaster flashes would really excel at holding ledges because of that kind of hit damage that they have. Right now, it's going to be the blaster going down first, and Miles Morales trying to back up. They do successfully get back onto their own plant, but LGBTQ, like, already taking control of mid with a lot of yellow paint.
Yeah, it looks like right off the bat there, LGBTQ had a lot of paint on the ground. Hoenn just barely getting off their plat, and still here it is very yellow. Aegislash here on the left just trying to get more paint, trying to get some more clams, but they're being really pressured by the pencil and the Nautilus from the side of LGBTQ.
I do like the combination of the bubbler and the ink strikes. The ink strikes are going to be good for just breaking in, trying to push the enemy out of the way, and then once they can get the bubbler set up, especially underneath the basket, they can certainly hold a lot of space to get a lot of clams in. Speaking of which, that blaster is already on their plan trying to make them happen. They just got to get that pencil in.
Ooh. Well, it looks like Dusty over here able to get that power clam in. Aegislash on the brush is trying to get out. They do have 6 clams though, but they're not really able to retake this plat. Kyogre also jumps out. LGBTQ able to repaint their plat, able to retake their side of mid, but Aegislash still has a power clam at their disposal.
Yeah, good on them for not only getting the basket over, they stayed alive long enough to kind of have control of the points to get those fans in. And they got some special line to retake mid again. Didn't get killed here, kind of pick up them like where they were before. They can already knock it up a cliff with that.
Ooh, looks like to go down on the side of Hoenn. They do still have a power clan to their name, but they're really holding back as LGBTQ is pushing their plat once again. They are all trying to collect clams with the shot able to hold, it looks like 7 clams right now. They do have the Zuka out trying to get another pick, but they're just not able to find anyone.
They had their rain out a little bit earlier trying to make some space. And we have a lot of space in mid. And they kind of those trades with all the Hoenn has too much water. But some they have to hold back right here until they can regroup, but they still but never mind. Lucas said, you know what? I can go on in and they're gonna go back to top.
Yes, they were trying to be really aggressive here, but Swag here on the Nautilus is trying to hold out against Hoenn. They do go down on this side. Miles Morales with the Slosher trying to take more space. They do have a power clam, but they go down as well. 2 members down from Hoenn. Looks like LGBTQ is painting up mid. They are trying to hold more space. They've got a power clam waiting for them. I believe that's the city though. Oh, but it looks like they are moving the power clam. They are trying to get in. They are trying to use this Zuka to get some kicks and get to the enemy path.
Right now, they got a lot of control in there. They have a lot of yellow paint, but they can't break past onto Hoenn has too much flat right now. And we see the strikes coming out, but you know what? Everything I just said might just change. They have 3 members down. It's just pencil remaining, and they're going to be able to open up that basket.
Ooh, that's a wipeout. LGBTQ now able to take the enemy plat here. They are throwing in some clams. They are taking the lead here. Hoenn has too much water, trying to get back to their plat, trying to retake that space, and it looks like they're able to with 3 down on the side of LGBTQ.
What I was going to say before LGBTQ really took that lead back, Hoenn has too much water. They don't have all the resources to break back in the mid when they want to, especially going against kind of like the not combo, but they have a really good comp for holding the flat to stay alive. Like they have the bubbler, they have those strikes. They could have held out for quite a bit longer, but unfortunately that wipeout, and once again, 3 members down, LGBTQ is going to be rushing that basket, possibly get another one, solidifying their lead.
I like how T-Girl here is able to kind of hold that right side against Hoenn. They saw that the enemy was coming towards them. They saw that they were about to be aggressive, but they just held steady. They were patient. They were able to get that power clam in. And now LGBTQ is still on the enemy plat, still holding space. Looks like they are trying to get some more clams in here, and they are able to get a few more before their Nautilus player goes down.
Oh, we see Lucas here at the brush. They were just sitting up there on the top left. That could have been a pretty hefty clam jump if they weren't taken out, but they were fortunately able to stop them from killing a few months. Now Hoenn Smith Water, they got a 20 person. Dragons are going out. Lose two of their members, lose the pencil. If they're able to get the clam, and they might be able to pull this off, but it's going to be extremely tight as the rest of LGBTQ are regrouping.
Oh no! Miles Morales had the power climb in their possession, but they were taken out quickly by LGBTQ, seeing them on the right side there, and it looks like their barrier is back. This one goes to LGBTQ.
Man, like, that was a close one. They got it down to a 3-minute. It was difficult for either team to really break in at the beginning, but like once Hoenn had too much water, was able to get that first lead. Like, they only had a couple more minutes to keep that, but I think like they just slowly got overwhelmed by the amount of pressure that LGBTQ was putting on them just over and over again. They couldn't like reset the balance at all.
All right, looks like the next match is going to be on Power Control on Manta Maria. All right, so how do you feel about Power Control on Manta Maria, man?
I've always been a fan of Manta Maria. It's a fantastic splatling map with the those kind of gradient in the middle. I know Zones is not the most popular one, but I've always enjoyed Zones. Tower Control, with the changes that they made between 2 and 3, like you have a lot more space to work with around that tower path, but it's still a really snowbally map if you're not careful. Like, there's a lot of potential ledges for the attacking team to hold on to. Defending team really has got to rely on building up their stuff to break back out. So, like, it is once again a very momentum-based game for Tower Control.
Yes, I would agree with that. I feel like this is a lot like, what were we just talking about for ship shape? So, like higher ledges that you can look down on. I feel like it's a lot like that. I think it still favors, common picks like the pencil and.
Yeah, well, see, that's interesting. I've seen, like, pencil can certainly shine here, but I've seen a lot of teams actually swap to headits specifically for Manta Maria, and I think Tower Control even more so. So we'll see if they stick with their pencil pick or if they decide to swap off.
Why do you think people change to headit?
That is a good question. Like, I know there's a lot of good space to hold in mid, but once you start going to kind of those streets area, then it gets a little bit more confined, and it's like you really got to be on point with your aim if you're going to be playing pencil. Unless, of course, you're not actually right in the tower, if you can get onto that ledge with the bunker, but having the head there can take a lot more up-close 1v1s than pencil can.
Gotcha. So it's more, if you want to be aggressive, it's a pick for stuff like that?
It's like the Nautilus, but not like a mix between the Nautilus and the Hydra.
Gotcha. All right. This is for match point, correct?
Yes, this is going to be LGBTQ is going to be on match point here. So we decide whether they continue on to finals or is Hoenn going to stay in the match.
Gotcha. All right, we're seeing both teams go forward here. Looks like they're both pacing their bunkers. KYO jumping down though, taking the soda, trying to get more space on this right area here. Ooh, both teams are really trying to push mid right now. Both teams trying to paint it up. There's Azuka coming out from Hornet. There is one down. There's two down now on the side of Hoenn as LGBTQ takes this tower.
Like, both of the brush players, they swapped that hero brush to bring in that difference. Interesting choice, but we're not even going to be seeing the head at all. Hoenn has too much water, deciding to swap to the Zap instead going for a little bit more mobility, a little bit more aggression, but it is right now LGBTQ with control power is asking for friction on Hydra.
Yeah, it looks like the members of LGBTQ are trying to hold the tower here, but looks like Hoenn is being really aggressive right now. They are moving forward to mid, although two of their members are down. Oh, the brush goes down as well. They are just really trying to be aggressive, trying to push forward, trying to get LGBTQ out of this area.
Now you're just trying to freeze right now with the rush. The zip ties are coming out, which is not letting them make any moves. They're going to be taking on the street, and they're just completely locking it down. And this is what I was saying right here. If what the team's able to get that momentum going, it's hard for the defense to kind of break back out without any sort of like special support right here. And we're just seeing that firsthand.
All right, we're watching T-Girl Swag now, trying to hold power with this pencil. 2 are down on the side of Hoenn, so it is a good opportunity to keep holding this tower. There were 3 down now. Ooh, the points keep ticking down. They are past checkpoint 2 now. LGBTQ getting the Zukas out, getting these specials out, holding Hoenn down there in that pit, not able to get anywhere close to tower, really.
We see the shot in the brush is continuously going up that left side here. But it's going to be Hoenn has too much water with the wipeout here. Like, no matter how many times they take on the offensive team, they're just not able to stop them long enough to break back in. The Lupus is really taking advantage right here. Getting a couple of 2, and he's going to be taking the 2 right there.
Yes, we're watching Swag now. They got 3 picks here holding this tower. There is a brush on the right side, but they're just ignoring it. They're going to keep going for picks here. They're going to keep finding... They found Miles Morales going around that grate, and LGBTQ able to take this tower to get the match point.
Yeah, that was a rather decisive match at that. It was close to turning it around, but the momentum of that tower just slid it right into home plate right there. Just like, they did not let off the gas at all.
Yeah, goodness. That was a good that was a good game for them to kind of finish it off, kind of establish like, yeah, we are winning, and you know what? We're gonna take this last game too.
Like, we give you your chance at Clan Blitz, now we're gonna be taking it home.
Exactly. All right, seeing as this was a best of 5, this match point is going to go to LGBTQ. Hoenn, you did a really great job. It was a really great match to watch, but you know, one team has to come out the victor.
That's right, LGBTQ is going to be moving on the finals, but that's going to be a set for another time. We're going to be going to a short break, and until then, stay tuned, stay hydrated, and we'll be right back.
Peach is gonna run it, and I think anti-champion is gonna win. And anti-champion pufferfish party, the night sharks.
Pixelated with the reverse sweep on cake.
Pixelated. Arrows of fire.
Calamity. Arrows of fire.
Squid strikes. Blacking raiders.
KYO
7, 8, 9.
Octopi. Corinthia.
Attack the feelers.
Taco breakfast burrito.
Storm in a teacup.
Just squidding.
Indigo.
Shoujo.
White siege.
Honor bound.
88 star.
Pandora's squid bunks.
Hyperzone.
I heard you've been trying to play without losing rank points. Well, I got the perfect thing for you. Introducing Splat Chord Squabbles. It's a new 2v2 zones event with 4 sessions for you to play in. You can join 1 or more because there is no need for 4. Just ask a friend to register and you're good to go, buddy. Now, if you're a real one like me, those first few matches are going to be a breeze, but they're going to be harder and harder throughout each event as it only takes 1 loss for you to get knocked out. Only the top shooters and splatters will make it through to the qualifier, and for that, we got the rewards for you. A Sendu.Inc badge and an invite to the final bracket where you'll compete for the grand prize against other top splatters for $50 in the grand final. Big money, big band. How much is that? Not a band, but you know what I'm saying? You're getting up to a 20th of a band. Yeah. If you're just playing for fun or trying to get in on the action without playing, we'll be streaming it all live on Twitch with commentary throughout the finals. If you're rocking with that, don't forget to drop by at Discord GG/Splatoon to get started. And we'll see you in the squabble starting April 28th. Oh my God. That shit sounds funny as fuck.
Hello everyone, welcome to the grand finals of the Great White Bracket of SOS 145. It is I, Mad Gamer II, joined by the lovely Miss Pixie 6.
Hello everyone. I hope you're super excited because we're on finals of Swimmer Sync 145.
That's right, the finals that are indeed grand.
They are grand. And we have the grand teams, the KYO GLAZERS versus LGBTQ.
Indeed. This is finals. There's not much more you can say about it. These are the top 2 teams of today's tournament.
That's true. And both had a really good time in semis. They both went 3-0, so both these teams are going to be really good, and we're going to find out which one is going to be the better one, I suppose.
Oh yeah, they're coming in hot. They are on a roll.
And spicy.
They got some. They both got some momentum going behind them, so we'll see which one is going to come out first. On Tower Control, Inkling Art Academy, one of the most momentum-based map modes in the game, if I do say so myself.
You think so? Well, tower control just is very momentum based by itself.
That's true. You just slap tower control on it, and it's automatically a momentum based game.
True. All right, and then Inkblot. You feel like that's a pretty momentum based map? I feel like it can be because of how it's set up. It is very hallway-esque with its different locations of where the tower is, where those different checkpoints go.
Yeah, I think it's like it definitely favors the attacking team if they know what they're doing. Because like if they're able to set up and they're able to take the areas that they need, it can be difficult for the defending team to break back out once again without that special coordination. And it can be hard to get that special coordination when you're getting lots of specials thrown at you.
Gotcha. All right, and I know we just saw LGBTQ play a pretty good game.
Do you
think the KYO GLAZERS are going to keep up with that? Are they going to be just as aggressive? They're going to be using some different weapon picks than we've seen so far today.
I would say 100% yes. Like they got some heavy hitters on the team. Like not only we got Biscuit from Starburst and KYO from FT Win, but we also have some. I recognize Captain Happy. That is that Harshi and me. Like I feel like I should know those names because they are pretty familiar to me too. But like nonetheless, like they have a stacked lineup.
I don't recognize anyone.
They're all in. They're all new. It's completely new to the comp scene.
I've seen LGBTQ and they're great. So that's where my money goes.
Heck yeah. Now it's funny. Like, I was thinking back to like you're right. We have seen LGBTQ in action. They were running a pretty like interesting comp, I must say. Like, you know,
bring out the brush.
Yeah. I was about to say the pencil and the shot. That's pretty standard. The brush and the knot combo, not so standard, and yet it seems to be working quite well. And that's what threw me off in the last set. We saw a blaster on the other team. You know, KYO is known for their buckets and their blasters, so like we could be seeing a pretty similar comp to what we saw from Hoenn Has Too Much Water, if I'm being honest.
Gotcha. Seeing some blasters, seeing some pencils, seeing some.
I think the only question is whether they're going to be running brush as well, but I wouldn't
think so. It's not a standard pick. I mean, LGBTQ might be able to do some cool, sneaky things with their brush player, but unless the KYO GLAZERS also has some really great brush player, I don't see them pulling it out.
I think the better question is it going to be the vanilla brush or the octobrush? And seeing as they picked the octobrush for tower control last time, like just the overall range and damage it has, plus the suction bomb, plus the zip caster, it is a pretty good pick for tower control. But at the same time, it's like you can't really beat the vanilla brush either. It's like they both have their strengths and their weaknesses.
Yeah, I prefer the vanilla brush because it has the splat bombs, but also it has the killer whale, and that's so good for tower because tower just stays in the one spot, and when you have lasers focused on that one spot, you can't touch it. Exactly.
We just watched that movie the other night.
Stop. All right, LGBTQ pulling out the ink brush, and we see on the KYO GLAZERS no brush. In fact, we do see a blaster, but is this Biscuit that's playing it?
Mm-hmm. It's gonna be Biscuit on the range blaster and KYO on the machine Neo. But still, both teams rocking the pencil and the shot. It's just those kind of like those comfort picks from the other team. Oh, but they are not feeling so comfortable now. That's going to be 3 members down of LGBTQ, just the brush remaining. And that is the vanilla brush, not the, yeah, it is vanilla brush. For some reason, I thought it was the Nouveau brush for a second, but KYO GLAZERS taking the first checkpoint and rather decisively at that. Look at all that blue paint.
Yeah, we're seeing some specials from LGBTQ. They're just trying to take back their plat, trying to keep the enemy team from getting up on their bats, but it looks like the KYO GLAZERS are being pretty aggressive here, taking a lot of space. Ooh, Captain Happy gets looples as they're trying to back away, as they're trying to be a sneaky ink brush and just run and keep the enemy's attention, but they're just not able to do that for very long. Loople's getting a trade on the left side, taking out Miyayo. Oh, it looks like Captain Happy back on this tower. Ooh, the KYO GLAZERS getting a wipeout here.
They're like not even letting the brush get away, but man, a wipeout. That is, when you're down to like 20 points in tower control, a wipeout is not what you want to see in any mode really. But KYO with the sneaky flank, getting several members down, but they're just able to tap the tower long enough to keep it from rolling onto the KO. The Brush doing their best to keep it alive, keep this match going, but they are really just throwing all they have at it, and that wipeout is going to cement the KYO GLAZERS victory.
Wow. There weren't even any members of the KYO GLAZERS on the tower for that last bit. Just one of the members using that Zuka to get the LGBTQ, all their members down. They got that wipeout, but no one was touching the tower. It was just that momentum of being on it. Goodness, that was a pretty decisive win for the KYO GLAZERS.
I just cruised right into the last checkpoint right there. But man, like I was talking about, like, is momentum based. If they know what they're doing and take all the right spots, it can be difficult for the defending team to break out. And oh boy, like they held that on strong, 100-0, and didn't even break a sweat.
Goodness. And I was looking forward to LGBTQ giving them the business, getting that ink brush to get some picks there. And they did get a lot of good trades. I feel like LGBTQ did their best there to hold their ground, but the KYO GLAZERS just able to get so many picks so quickly, they just weren't able to reform their defense.
And I feel like, you know, Tower Control, and especially on Inkblot, is not the best map to showcase LGBTQ because it is such a, like I said, it's very momentum based, and because it's on Inkblot is such a well-practiced map, is like it is down to a formula for it. So it's like once you execute that formula, it can be hard to fight against that. Clampless on Scorch, you can throw in a little bit more chaos, a little bit more of kind of that brush shenanigans, and they can maybe just strut their stuff a bit better.
Definitely. Oh, I would love to know whatever that formula is that you were speaking of, whatever formula to win the game. And we're going to see the KYO GLAZERS try to pull it out here on Clampless on Scorched Gorge. But you're right. I think this is a better map mode for LGBTQ now. They'll be able to spread out a little bit more, have those opportunities to be sneaky like they are, find places for the to hide and get picks just easier than Inkblot. Just Inkblot is so hallway-esque, so hallway-like, just so few places to go, especially when it's tower. But Clamblitz, you got the whole map at your disposal.
And this is what I was talking about with Shift Shape as well. Clamblitz on Scorch Gorge, it has like the full structure of that middle bit, that tower. You know, you get modes like Rainmaker where it's just like it completely flattens it out. You get so much more open space, but having that kind of extra structure in the middle will afford a little bit more cover, a little bit more kind of just, I don't even know, just a barrier between them and the enemy team.
All right, let's see the weapons that come out here. On the side of LGBTQ, looks like it's pretty standard for them. And on the side of the KYO GLAZERS, ooh, a lot of switching it up. Captain Happy's still on that pencil, but everybody else has taken different weapons.
We're bringing out the, oh my goodness, okay. So first of all, we get the foil squeezer, bringing out splat screen. Then we have the 52 Gal Deco, also splat screen. They're running a double splat screen comp alongside that carbon roller, which is a whole other ball of chaos on its own.
Yeah, KYO here taking a really aggressive stance here on the enemy ramp. They are trying to push up. They are trying to find some picks here. They're pulling out the screen as Captain Happy is able to get a power clam. Ooh, 30 seconds into this match. Looks like the rest of the KYO GLAZERS are able to push in, get some clams into the basket as Looples tried to go around behind them, get a pick, but they just were not able to stop this push quite yet.
You know, it seems running the double screen seems memey, but if you think about it, with the buff that it recently had, the 40 damage, like not only does it obstruct so much view, and especially if you can stack it so like you can spread it out more, you have so much more open space you can cover with it. But it's like comboing it. If you get hit by both of them, you're down 80 bits of health. That's gonna be just what, a splash bomb, and you're down.
Yeah, Miyayo able to get another power clam into the basket. The rest of the KYO GLAZERS kind of split up here, though. LGBTQ able to stop anyone from scoring in more clams. KYO gets taken down here. Hornet trying to push the enemy off the team, off their ramp here. They are able to take out Biscuit. They are able to hold more space here in mid.
Right, they did get 50 points out of that first push. However, LGBTQ, they're getting some turf back. They're getting some of that space back. They lose their brush in the process, but they just gotta make sure they don't let the carbon roller set up, not let the 52 set up. And I see that as the 52 is going all the way around to go after that pencil.
Definitely. I saw Kyo being sneaky trying to get that pencil. Ooh, I'm not sure how that paid off though. Looks like the rest of the KYO GLAZERS still trying to hold forward. Captain Happy with that power clam. Kyo here in the middle trying to get a pick. They're trying to get Looples here, but Looples able to pick them off pretty quickly. Ooh, there's a lot of back and forth going in mid. LGBTQ just trying to get forward.
They do end up losing 2 of their members. This could be kind of the shift of that momentum once again, but they're doing a good job of just keeping the KYO GLAZERS kind of off foot, not letting them set up themselves. But it is like that changed so quickly, and Captain Happy with a nice splat right there, and then the brush going down as well. But they lose 2 of their members in the process. Is just going to be the power clam going in. Like, I don't even know if they're able to hold it, but they get 2 power clams and bring it down to 25. And they are still got so much pink paint in the ground.
Yes, there are only 3 members up of the KYO GLAZERS right now, though, and they are pretty split up. Another one goes down. Ooh, Biscuit trying to get some picks here, but they are taken out quite quickly. T-Girl here trying to get more paint down in mid, trying to hold off the KYO GLAZERS from being aggressive again. Ooh, they get a good pick here. Looks like a good opportunity for LGBTQ to get this power clam in.
Looples going around. They're still alive. They get the basket open, and they're going to be getting some follow-up as well. 2 members of the KYO GLAZERS having to come back from spawn here, but that is going to be their shot out of commission. Let's see if LGBTQ is able to hold this corner right now, but unfortunately, just KYO GLAZERS were too overwhelming. Are able to push them out, but still. Minute and a half left, and they did get it down to 77, so they have that kind of follow-up, and they're doing a good job of making sure that the KYO GLAZERS just don't run away with this. Like, they're not letting them have a free pass to the basket.
Yeah, I was gonna say, LGBTQ might be down, but they're not out. They are still in this game. They are still trying to fight to get forward. Ooh, there's still a lot of picks going off. T-Girl able to get another pick on this left side. There are members of LGBTQ jumping into mid. They are trying to collect their clams. They are trying to build another power with the Looples on the brush here, but it looks like KYO GLAZERS is trying to be just as aggressive, trying to hold them back just as hard.
Yeah, they had the space. They were set up for the push. They just need the clams there, but unfortunately, the double kind of pincer of that carbon that the 52s offset them, but now Looples are going to be pushing in, taking on the carbon roll and winning. T-Girl Swag going to have to be coming in from behind, trying to get the power clam in, and that's 2, another 3rd one down, and there is a lot of clams that just spawned for them.
Yeah, I don't know what just clicked in the minds of LGBTQ, but they're pulling together. They're being really aggressive. They're holding back the KYO GLAZERS from getting anywhere near their basket. They are getting these clams in. Let's see if they could take the lead right here.
Oh, 10 seconds into the lead. There's the lead. We have seconds remaining. They just got to hold this. They just got to get that 1 clam in right at the last second, and they can keep this victory. But 1 second is going to be going into overtime, and they are just no more left in mid. But still, that was they stalled out long enough. They could potentially keep this if they're able to hold their defense right here.
Ooh, LGBTQ just has to hold this a little bit longer. The overtime clock is going down, but 3 members of LGBTQ go down. Oh no, it's a wipeout. The KYO GLAZERS are in a good position to get more clams in this basket here. Oh, and they take the lead in overtime.
Oh man, that was such a close one. Like, you were right. Like, something just clicked for LGBTQ. Like, we saw 2 members go down, and then that Zuka shot just took out the carbon, bringing it down to a 3, and just like. They had a lot of that space, and they got the lead. Yeah, if they hadn't seen the Nautilus when they did, they could have like really wrecked half of them with just the kind of that sneaky spot they had there. Mm-hmm. So unfortunate that their defense broke right at the end there.
Yeah, the 3 got taken down. They had been doing so well and not just getting wiped out like that. They have been really trying to not get wiped out like that. I don't know, but it was really amazing to see LGBTQ pull together so quickly and take that lead for a little while. They were just so coordinated. They knew what they had to do. They knew where they had to go, and they were able to do it. They were able to hold that lead for a little while. That was so cool. It was so cool to see that back and forth.
Indeed, and we saw it from the KYO GLAZERS. Like, I don't think I've ever seen splatter screen one. It's rare enough to see it run once, let alone twice. But they definitely made it work. Like, just that kind of visibility thing really lent itself to that aggressive playstyle that they had. Like, they had the KYO on the 52 really going out there to make plays, and we had the carbon roller going out there to make plays. And having that kind of splat screen out in front of them made it so that LGBTQ had less of a heads up that they were coming, especially with how open Scorch Gorge is.
All right, the next map mode that we're going to see, and what could be match point for the KYO GLAZERS, is Rainmaker on Crab Lake Capital.
I'll say Zuka Capital more likely.
Zuka Capital.
But no, Rainmaker is an interesting one. Like, I know Clambless we talked about earlier, like kind of how it is similar to Museum in the way that like it has a bit of a chokehold when it comes to taking the basket. Rainmaker is, I don't know, is definitely lends itself to more opportunities, especially the fact that you have that Rainmaker as a weapon itself, kind of that long distance pressure, but you do have to navigate like the safe route of this map is the grading of all things. Like,
true,
it is so interesting that the route that is gives you more space to work with and is a safer way to go is one that is covered in a lot of grading. The last route gives you some points, but it's like it's a lot easier to defend.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I feel like that left route is kind of the sneaky route. It is hard to get up there.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, from both sides, we're not seeing much of a change up from the side of LGBTQ, but the KYO GLAZERS, I'm not sure what they're thinking with these weapon picks, actually.
We did see Glugas coming out for Crab Lake on Clams before. I talked about how just because of how open it is in the middle there, having that Booyah bomb, having that splash wall can lend itself to just be able to hold space. The Dapples, it's kind of like the alternative to Sploosh in that like you can go for that quick pop, go for that kind of Rainmaker carrier roll, and between the fire rate and the damage of the dualies and the combo of the Reef Slider, like that lends itself to that quick pop.
Wow, LGBTQ is not letting the KYO GLAZERS take a second to relax. They are pushing up. They are being aggressive. They take an early lead here. Ooh, Hoenn with this Rainmaker trying to get it into the checkpoint, but the KYO GLAZERS are guarding it pretty hard now.
That's right. They were so close to getting that because they had the 3 down in the beginning, but they just weren't quite able to get to the pistol. But even so, they held that space extremely well for the time being. But now is the KYO GLAZERS coming back in, retaking that space.
Captain Happy here able to take this checkpoint on the right side. LGBTQ able to take Captain Happy down though. Ooh, there's a lot of back and forth trying to get this Rainmaker popped. It is popped though. LGBTQ only has swag up trying to defend it, and the KYO GLAZERS trying to get back in with Captain Happy on this pencil trying to get a pick.
Yeah, that was essentially a mutual wipe. 3 members of both teams going down, a 1-for-1 between the Nautilus and the Pencil, and really neither was in a good position to push the Rainmaker, so it's just a waiting game for the rest of the team. But right now it is the KYO GLAZERS with the control of mid and 2 members down, and they're going to be bringing all the way around to the left side, have that vacuum out. KYO just leading the way with the Reef Slider. Are they going to be able to stop it in time? Bring it down to 5, but that's going to stop right there, and a wipeout to boot.
Wow, wipeout from LGBTQ taking out the KYO GLAZERS before they're able to get this Rainmaker in the pedestal. T-Girl here getting paint down in mid while the rest of their team trying to hold. They have Zuka coming out from LGBTQ, 1 down on the side of KYO GLAZERS. T-Girl able to take this Rainmaker. Let's see how far they can push it.
That was such a good play by the KYO GLAZERS right there. Like, they had the vacuum out for the initial push, but then the other thing I didn't really think of, pulling out that Reef Slider for just kind of like the spearhead, leading the path right there. They had the paint and the invincibility to push them out of the way. It was just a shame they weren't able to get the KO right there, but that's going to give LGBTQ another chance at victory. They're going to be taking the first checkpoint here, and the Glugas are not going to be able to stop them at all.
Ooh, T-Girl able to get this Rainmaker into the checkpoint. They are trying to hold against the enemy Pencil though. Ooh, it's a lot of trading paint here. Neither team really able to touch each other. Hornets got a Zuka out, but they get taken down very quickly. Lupul's here on the brush trying to take more space, but they really just can't shake the enemy from being up there on their plat.
I'm trying to remember, because we saw some Poison Mist coming out from the KYO GLAZERS. I'm trying to remember which of those weapons has it. I know that the vanilla or the blue Dapples had the nickname Poison Apples because of that the Poison Mist they had in 2, but I can't remember if it get carried over. Nonetheless, having that Poison Mist right there really kept LGBTQ from pushing it further than they did right there. Ooh. And now the KYO GLAZERS are taking another stab at taking mid, but 3 members down is going to give LGBTQ that chance.
Ooh, it's a good chance for LGBTQ to take a lot of space here. They had a lot of members down from the KYO GLAZERS, but it looks like they're getting taken down as well. They don't have control of the Rainmaker right now. They're just trying to paint up space with Hoenn here on the side, just trying to get a pick, just trying to stay alive. They are able to get one. Ooh, if only someone from the side of LGBTQ is in a position to take that Rainmaker.
Yeah, we saw that KYO just did a fantastic job of just stalling for that. Like, they are now 3 down once again, but with them as the only member up, it took them a while for them to be taken down by LGBTQ. Now we'll see if they're able to rally again, but we see another member around the pedestal, but the Rainmaker kicker takes them out. This is gonna be where it comes close. 30 seconds left. The blaster is gonna stop the Rainmaker, and the jumps are coming in. Oh, this is not looking good for LGBTQ.
Oh no, as LGBTQ keeps jumping to that one spot, Biscuit is holding it. They were able to take them out with the blaster. Now the KYO GLAZERS are in control of this Rainmaker here. It looks like they're just holding it and knowing that LGBTQ can't really contest it right now.
Oh yeah, this right here, like, unless they can take it out, this is the pit of no return because like of how well they can defend it. But unfortunately, Swag is gonna be able to stop the Rainmaker. But it's the Reef Slide and the Booyah and the vacuum is gonna just completely obliterate that corner.
Wow, that was so many specials on the side of KYO GLAZERS just to secure that lead, but they were able to take that game from LGBTQ.
And then we saw that LGBTQ, like, they had the nice opening right there, and they had several opportunities to bring it back. I just like the aggressiveness and just the consistent pressure that the KYO GLAZERS put on them. Just it kind of crumpled their coordination right at the end there.
You know what? This might have been 3-0 for the KYO GLAZERS, but I feel like LGBTQ did hold their own. They almost took that Clamblitz match. Like, the KYO GLAZERS only won that in overtime. I don't think that LGBTQ should be upset about this match at all. I feel like they did so well. They should be proud of themselves. They should be so proud of how well they did here.
Indeed. It was certainly a close match. But sadly, that is going to be the grand final. So it's the end of our tournament with the KYO GLAZERS as your weekly champions.
That's right. Congratulations to the KYO GLAZERS for winning Swim or Sink 145.
I don't really... Is there anything else you would like to add on before we take it on over and finish up?
Yeah, I think you all should follow IMadGamerII on Twitter, and you should all look up IMadGamerII on YouTube and watch every YouTube video that he's ever made.
No, don't do that. Don't do that. You don't need to watch all of it.
Would you get mad if I told you that I haven't seen all your videos?
I'd be relieved, honestly.
Okay, well, you'd be relieved. Okay.
I have been streaming long enough. There is some embarrassing stuff out there, just of how, like. Yeah.
So let's watch all of IMAD's videos, everyone. Let's support our boy and all of this this production as well. Let's support the production. They did a good job. Justin and whoever else is involved with the stream. Good job today. I know Lily Gravy Bread and Slat were commentating earlier. Good job to them.
That's right. Shout out to IPL staff. Shout out to the SOS staff. Thank you all for your time and your effort. And thank you all for hanging out here and tuning in with you. We really do appreciate it. But in the meantime, this is going to be Swimmer Sink 145 signing out.
And I think anti-champion is gonna win. And they win. And anti-champion pufferfish party, the night sharks.
Pixelated with the reverse sweep on cake.
Pixelated. Arrows of fire.
Calamity. Arrows of fire.
Squid strikes. Blacking raiders.
Ika
7, 8, 9.
Octopi. Corinthia.
Attack the feelers.
AK. Taco breakfast burrito.
Storm in a teacup.
Just squidding.
Indigo.
Shoujo. White siege.
Honor-bound.
88 star.
Pandora's squid monks.
Hyperzone.
I heard you've been trying to play without losing rank points. Well, I got the perfect thing for you. Introducing Splat Chord Squabbles. It's a new 2v2 zones event with 4 sessions for you to play in. You can join 1 or more because there is no need for 4. Just ask a friend to register and you're good to go, buddy. Now, if you're a real one like me, those first few matches are going to be a breeze, but they're going to be harder and harder throughout each event as it only takes 1 loss for you to get knocked out. Only the top shooters and splatters will make it through to the qualifier, and for that, we got the rewards for you. A Sendu.Inc badge and an invite to the final bracket where you'll compete for the grand prize against other top splatters for $50 in the grand final. Big money, big band. How much is that? Not a band, but you know what I'm saying? You're getting up to a 20th of a band. Yeah. If you're just playing for fun or trying to get in on the action without playing, we'll be streaming it all live on Twitch with commentary throughout the finals. If you're rocking with that, don't forget to drop by at Discord.gg/Splatoon to get started. And we'll see you in the squabble starting April 28th. Oh my God. That shit sounds funny as fuck.